Welcome to the Nintendo Prime Podcast, Season 2, Episode 10. We got a full 6-pack tonight. I don't know how I pulled it off last minute, but you know what? It happens. You guys know who I am. Of course, I am Nintendo Prime. Right there, smack dab in the middle where it says his mic is muted, but it's really not because our setup isn't perfect at the moment. We're using new software this week. We'll talk about that in a bit. Eric Moore, how you doing, bud?
Good.
Nice. We have Mr. Mike Odyssey's here.
What is going on?
We have brand new first timer, small YouTuber Fusion64. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me. I was shocked when I saw the tweet go out. I'm like, what the hell? Why not? And then I'm like, well, you got back to me. All right, why not?
Yeah. You guys want any PlayStation news? Go check out his channel. We have it linked down in the description. You guys, the incomparable second sexiest man in Florida, Andres Restart.
Second?
Who's the first?
Yeah,
Mike. The hair?
Mike.
Oh, okay, Mike.
It's just Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hi. How you guys doing?
The governor.
And then we have Nick Barrett from the Joystick Drift Podcast. How's it going?
It's going good. In a very similar vein to Fusion 64. I saw the tweet go out and I was like, I got nothing to lose by reaching out, and I was kind of shocked, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah, so I don't care about a lot of my people know this by now. A lot of people that watch our show. I don't care about the size of the channels and that we have on. I care about the conversations. So when people reached out to me last minute, you guys reach out. The first thing I did was go to the YouTube channels, watch some content, and I'm like, oh yeah.
You just make sure it's not a bot.
Yeah, this will work.
Yeah.
No,
there's that. Yeah.
It does that too.
I mean, I already ran into one on Twitter for me.
I mean, the way deep fakes are going, I guess I don't even know if you guys are who you say you are.
Right?
They're all holograms.
All right. Well, we're going to start our show like we start every single podcast by talking about what have we been playing lately. And let's go all the way down to the bottom right to Nick Barrett. What have we been playing lately, bud?
Well, I recently finished Persona 5 Royal for the Switch. And now that I've finished that, I'm getting into Fire Emblem Engage because I know if I don't play it now, I'm never going to play it. Because once Tears of the Kingdom comes out, that's it. That's going to be my game for like the rest of the year. So I'm trying to get through some of my backlog now because I know I won't get to it later.
Okay. Awesome. Let's go right above Mike Odyssey. What have you been playing lately?
So yeah, I've been playing. Well, everybody knows what I've been playing. I've been playing not Tears of the Kingdom. I keep saying that.
Oh my gosh!
Again.
Yeah, just wait till he busts out the box again, and he's like,
I've been playing
looking for it.
Breath of the Wild in Master Mode, right? So right now I'm in a high because I just defeated Ganon after my third try in Master Mode, right? I got all my little the first time I got all the shrines, right? Almost 100% it, but I didn't get all the memories, right? This time I'm like, forget the shrines. I'm just gonna get enough shrines in order to get my hearts up and then get all the memories because I want to see that alternate ending. And man, that was sick. I'm like in the clouds.
Is that the first time you saw the true ending?
Yeah. It's the first time I saw it, and it got me so much
hype. A long time.
It got me so much more hype for Tears of the Kingdom. I'm ready. You know, especially when Zelda takes up the Sheikah Slate and she says, "Oh, there's something wrong with this divine beast. Let's go check it out." Like, oh, that's where it starts. Let's go. You know, Tears of the Kingdom.
Until Tears of the Kingdom has a time jump and we never actually learn what happened. Yeah, they just ignore the divine beast. Anyway, I hope there's an explanation for what the hell happened to the divine beast somewhere.
I was expecting a kiss between Zelda and Link. I'm like, guys, just stop looking at each other. Just
I mean, look,
it needs to happen.
There's an entire cutscene where Link's just checking out her ass. So I don't understand how he.
Well, Link is not the only one checking it out, right?
Well, okay. When they made the ass like 2/3 of the screen, I mean, come on,
it's hard to miss.
I think they did it on purpose.
Apparently, there was a frog on screen. I missed that part.
What color was the baby shirt, Nate?
I'm just glad that I wasn't forced to have to say anything regarding her, but it had to be you guys.
It's
I was going to say something if you didn't.
But here's the thing. Like, it's easier for people who, hey, I got a wife. I'm good. She ain't gonna get jealous. She checked out Zelda's ass too while she was playing Breath of the Wild. So don't even worry about it.
Again, it's a drawing that moves on the screen, so it's allowed. You know, it's not like it's not a real person, so it's a fake butt that kind of looks.
Zelda's real.
Yeah, but I don't know, Mike. You start watching some hentai, that opinion might change.
Yeah, that's well.
You said it's a drawing movie on script. I'm saying.
This is the kind of conversation we're supposed to have at the end of the podcast.
But anyway, defeated Ganon after my third try. It was slightly more difficult with because there's a stupid little bar always filling back up every time I'm like, what the heck, man? You know, that's a good thing. Every single enemy, if you let them for a little while, their lives will just fill back up like nothing. I'm like, did I just beat the crap out of you? And you're still like just running around. But it was awesome. I think I enjoy playing Zelda Breath of the Wild in Master mode than I did in regular mode, especially when they had those little pillars with those little 4 balloon octo balloon thingies. I used to like glide on there and kick butt and then grab the treasure and just move up. But it was pretty cool. I'm ready for Tears of the Kingdom. I wanted to finish it by this time because I wanted to give myself some time break because Legend of Zelda is a long game, right? So jumping from Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom was gonna be like, okay, that's way too much. You know,
you have the opposite problem some have. They can't say Tears of the Kingdom. It's just Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah. So I wanted to give myself at least a month or two, like a 2-month break before I jumped in. And of course, just like Nick, to get into other games that I've been pulling off for a while. And Emblem Engage is one of them. I got it on day 1, played like a scene and just set it aside. Unlike Eric, I played about 10 minutes of Mario Party Sparks of Hope. 10 minutes, literally, put it aside. So I mean, yeah, I give because games come out so much as a content creator, sometimes you don't have time to play everything. So I play a little bit, get my first impressions out, and continue to play everything else. But yeah, man, I'm ready for Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm ready for PAX.
Heck yeah.
PAX.
Yeah.
Oh, PAX. Heck yeah. Fusion 64, what have you been playing lately, bud?
So I started on Fire Emblem, and I got about a few weeks into that, and then Hogwarts came out and took me away from that. So I was playing Hogwarts for a little bit, and then this week we got PlayStation VR 2. So just been mostly playing that, Horizon and Gran Turismo 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice.
It's
How do you feel about it? Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's a big step up from PlayStation VR 1. It's a big step up from the Oculus Quest 2. There's some little issues with it. Like I thought people that got early oversold it a little bit. It's not as visually striking as everybody said, but it's still, I mean, VR is kind of like a whole different thing. You have to, it's not like traditional games. You kind of got to go in with those expectations, really.
So what do you recommend from somebody who's going from a cardboard box and a phone to straight to that PSVR?
Do you have a PS5?
Well, I got a PS5, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Will I be impressed if I go straight from my phone?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah, definitely. It's a big step up. Like it's even a big step up from the Quest 2. I mean, the Quest 2 is really good, but yeah. I mean, especially Gran Turismo is stunning. Like I might even just buy a wheel for that.
That's
nice.
Awesome.
But other than that, I think I beat Mario Land 2 on NSO last week, and then I got 2 kids, a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old, and my 4-year-old's just getting into like he was with Mario first, and now he's like on to Kirby, which he loves Kirby. It's crazy, yeah. And he doesn't even like Kirby; he likes Meta Knight and like King DDD. So nice. And so we just got into Smash Brothers, and like his mind was like blown when he sees like all of these characters that he just got into like on the same screen. So
that's awesome.
That's basically it. But my wife and I are going on a cruise next week, so it's gonna be all Switch.
Awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, I gotta finish Fire Emblem and start Metroid.
Nice.
There we go.
There you go.
There we are. Eric, what have you been playing lately, bud?
I don't remember if it was this week or last week where I actually 100%ed full 100% Sparks of Hope. And yeah, that was it. If it wasn't this week, it was last week, and I don't remember. No, I think I beat it last week, and then fully 100%ed it this week. I think is how that went. I don't know.
You did something.
But my brain is fried from freaking M-Shot training.
You played a game, and it's the same game you've been playing for months.
Well,
Got it.
Yeah. I mean, my brain is fried from M-Shot training. Yes, I am done with that.
So let me ask you a different question.
Yes.
Then. What are you planning to play in the future before Tears of the Kingdom?
I know Fractured But Whole is on the list.
There we go.
And
A
I
lot
don't
more
know.
butt mentions in the beginning of this podcast than I
Well,
expected.
I mean,
Sure.
look, someone DM'd me the other day and said your podcast is ass, and we're just
Cool.
confirming.
Yeah.
We're just confirming.
So, yeah, I mean, anything right now, I guess, would beat my last 3 days. I've been in MSHA training, and it's freaking A. I did not know that there was an hour-long video on ladders. Yep, ladder safety, hour-long video.
Now, would you say Sparks
Yeah.
of Hope is better than the original Mario Plus Rabbids?
No, I don't think so. But I don't hate it. So
Okay.
it's right up there.
I thought the Donkey Kong
That's
DLC was better
no,
than
no,
the
I
main
don't
game.
hate it, but it's not as good.
No, it's not as good, but it's not. It's not bad. So I like it a lot, but I just don't think it is it's quite as good as.
But he could like it more.
I could.
Okay, yeah, I thought the Donkey Kong DLC was better than the main game for the first one.
The final Cursa battle though.
Yeah, the Curse battle was
sick.
that one was awesome.
That was sick.
That one was awesome.
Awesome. I guess Andres Restart, you're up, buddy. What have you been playing lately?
What have I been playing lately?
Is that
I'll
just
tell you what
Metroid
I'm-
Prime?
Yeah.
Again, beat it
Yeah.
another dozen times this week.
Hey,
All right. Listen, this is what I've been doing lately. I've been having brain farts lately, apparently. So that aside, still playing Metroid. That's right. Don't forget it. They'll be playing Metroid forever. So
Yo, we don't have no
Stick with
Metro Prime pajamas.
yo, I should get Metro Prime pajamas. That would be sick. It
my
would just
God.
be like boxes.
Here's the thing. We're probably gonna end up having a live
live.
podcast when we're at PAX, and he's gonna be wearing the damn pajamas.
Metroid Prime onesie.
Can I get a quick Metroid tangent real quick? I went in last week to GameStop and they
Yeah.
called me. They're like, here's your pre-orders ready. So I got the PSVR, so I waited a couple days. I come to get it on Friday. The guy's like, yeah, we got you marked down as you picked it up already. And I'm like, no.
What?
And so he's like, we got one copy left and it's open and like the sticker residue is still on here.
You can probably
I'm
clean
like,
it off.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's just it was my pre-order and I give me this half-used box. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. Should have got a discount or something.
Yeah,
right,
right.
I know. And
Yeah.
I saw everybody's scalping it on eBay. So I'm like, all right, just give me it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have it.
$40 is
You
a
can probably
discount.
clean off that residue.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's fine. But I totally
I just needed
feel
something
you
to
there.
complain about.
Yeah, no, you should complain.
That's
That's
kinda-
not
yeah,
okay.
no, that's a bad practice. I know
Absolutely.
I know they do that with the new games. They just open it up and usually they hand it to you sometimes, but that's for a pre-order. Come on.
I got two copies from Play Asia, so I should be receiving it by the time Metro Prime 4 comes out.
Right.
So,
Oh my
Alright, so-
Well, at least it wasn't from Limited Run. You
Mike.
might get it when Metroid Prime 5 comes out.
all right.
All right.
What am I gonna do with you, Mike?
So I am still playing Metroid. What I'm realizing, Metroid is just like it's like a good comfort game. Like whenever I just need to like
it's
run
not.
around.
It's not
Dude,
a comfort game. That's
It's
a
his,
horror
it's
game,
his
man.
pizza. Leave him
Huh?
alone. It's his pizza. Let him be.
All right, listen. I've been playing Metroid for years. Okay, I am an experienced Metroid player. I've already been scared. When I was a kid, I was terrified of that game. But now it's just like, oh, I remember that little monster that blows out of that hole. Yeah, it's terrifying for someone who's not like accustomed to it. But for me, it's just comfort.
I
It just
can
feels good.
see Andre. I can see Andre in the background with the music. You and me and you together forever.
Yeah, it's Metroid Prime and it's like tentacle scary form. Yeah, exactly.
Instead of
Um,
being spooked, he's like,
And then Ridley's like in the background, like with a thumbs up, just like yeah. But you know, I'm still playing Metroid. It's a good time for me. But also it is like a little bit of a weird in between phase because I do need to get back to Fire Emblem. I took a break from that. I'm in the middle of that one and I have to come back and finish Engage. I am planning to I want to pick up 1 and 2 and play through 1 through 3 before Pikmin 4 comes out as well. But to Nick's point from earlier, once Tears of the Kingdom comes out, that is going to dominate my life. So I got a lot to do before then, but also still playing Game Boy Tetris. I showed it to my dad. I was like, hey, remember this Tetris? He's like, oh yeah. No, but he like misremembered some things. Like I think he's confusing it with one of the more recent Tetrises. We're like, oh yeah, I got 1 million in that. I'm like, no. You don't get 1 million in this Tetris. That is a whole other level of difficulty. It doesn't even have the hold feature. there's no hold feature in the original Tetris, so it's just like way harder. But he said, "Oh, I got 1 million." So in my head, I'm like, "All right, I have to get 1 million to prove to him that I am far superior." So
Wow.
but I'm not even sure getting 1 million in this Tetris is possible. I'm pretty sure he's misremembering another Tetris game because we've had our Tetris competitions before, and with more modern.
You know,
Tetris.
you can Google if it's possible.
I haven't
Look,
bothered to look yet.
Eric's gonna Google it for you and be like, just so you know, your dad's not crazy. He's just literally a master.
Yeah, nah. I have a feeling he didn't get 1 million in that Tetris because I remember we used to play another Tetris, and he'd be in his 1 million score in that one.
Oh, Eric looked it up.
Original Game Boy Tetris.
For NES Tetris, a max out reached once a player hits 999,999 points.
So okay, that's
That's also
practically
NES
a mil.
Tetris.
That's NES. What about Game Boy?
Yeah, might be the same though, but
Might-
still.
okay, could
I
be.
just did top score original Tetris.
And I played yesterday here.
Yeah,
I'm bragging,
my
like,
fault.
15,000 points. I'm like, man, I'm so good. 15,000.
15. I think 15,000 is like a solid. I don't know.
Then you hear though that you can get 99999. So
Classic
you're like,
Game
well,
Boy Tetris world record holder has 780 or 748,757.
So
There you
basically,
go.
well, but here's the thing: that's world record holder. If your dad's claiming is that he should be the world record holder.
Right. So I'm pretty sure he's misremembering it. It's another Tetris.
Wouldn't the batteries run out probably before you would get that high of a score? Or no.
Right.
Well, you can plug in. Game Boy
On the,
has-
on
you
the
can plug
original
into
Game
the wall.
Boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fat Game Boy, you can plug into the wall.
Yeah, I had the game.
Oh,
Boy.
you know what? Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the battery life in those things were pretty good too. So
They were pretty good. They were
Yeah.
they weren't Game Gear.
They were not.
Oh,
even-
Game Gear was brutal.
Yeah.
6 batteries dead in an hour. Moving on.
anyways, so thank you for looking it up. That confirms that either my dad is a Tetris god amongst gods that no one knows about, or he's misremembering and he's talking about another Tetris that I already beat the 1 million score in. Anyways,
I
I
was just snack
have
talking from
the-
being younger.
I mean, it looks like most Tetrises are 998,999.
most of them top out there.
Yeah.
So
it's so good though, man.
Tetris effect
Game
might
Boy
go a little
Tetris, like the music,
Maybe.
it's so entrancing for me. It
Nostalgic.
just roast me in.
Dun 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 dun
Simple,
dun
simple,
dun dun
simple
dun.
beat.
Anyways, could listen to Tetris music all day.
I could.
The movie, you have to watch the movie.
I know I haven't watched it yet. I heard it's really, really good.
Wait,
The
Tetris?
history of Texas movie.
Listen to this, listen to
Tetris
the
movie.
music, and then watch the movie.
Texas. The history of Texas movie. Tetris.
I'm also pretty sure you were humming the Kirby theme song.
Yeah, I
not the-
was. I was humming
What?
Kirby. Look, you know what? It's been a really long week. Okay, because it's my turn now to talk about what I've been playing in the last week, and I've been playing a game called. My kids have not had school, so I've had to homeschool them for like 4 days. So I have played absolutely nothing but Russian roulette of hoping I don't hurt my children because I'm ready to punt them out the window. I love my children. I am not a teacher, and I hate homeschooling when they require me to become a teacher.
Mhm.
It's not that I can't do their I can do that. I can't. There's a reason I didn't go to college to be a teacher. I am not meant to teach these subjects to my children. They need to go to somebody who's trained. I can't handle when one of my kids mispronounces a word. And look, it's dumb. They're learning. Except the one who mispronounced it, it was the word the, and it was by my 12-year-old. I don't know how a teacher deals with that,
Oh boy.
but at home I can't handle that.
You think she was-
That just I can't handle the truth that my daughter can't
A lot
spell,
of people
can't read.
Have you done the math yet? I mean, the math is like totally different than we were.
Oh,
when
I
we
don't
were
even want to
kids.
talk about the math.
Oh man, that's so brutal.
It's
It's like,
just-
wait, hold on. This doesn't compute.
Here's what I tell my
Okay,
kids to do. Here's what I tell my kids to do. Do the math because you were taught how to do it. Give me the answer. I'll tell you if the answer's right. I can't,
Right.
I can't
Right.
check your. We're supposed to check my work, Dad. Yeah, about that. Look, son, let me introduce you to a calculator.
Right.
Because like I don't need these sticks, lines, triangles, or like 17 ways to solve. You know,
You won't always
oh,
have a
here's
calculator on
55
you.
divided by 5, and now we got this new way to do it. Like, okay, well, how many 5s go into a 5? 1. Why can't we just do that? Why do we have to have like boxes and like charts and triangles and look at all the possible answers it could be? But it's this one. Or why don't we just get the right answer? And I just, anyways. Sorry, I hate it. And there's a fun story behind that. The new math was not actually made by somebody who knows math. And other countries that have attempted to use this system threw it out and said it's trash. The U.S. is the only country in the world using it right now.
Shocker.
Well,
And there was a hefty little money attached to getting this one going. So it's stupid.
That as an educator for 10 years, my wife an educator for 25.
You love it?
It's trash.
Thank you.
Here we go. I'm about to get the smackdown. It's the best system of all time.
It's trash because they're not teaching kids to get the right answer. They're teaching kids to do the work. And even if they show a process and still get it wrong, the fact that they show the process
And they still get it right.
makes it correct.
Yes.
That is-
Yes. They don't need the right answer. They just have to
It's like
do the work correctly.
maybe a way to get
If
5.
they did the work correctly, they wouldn't have gotten the wrong answer.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, it's it's all about the process. We're teaching them how to process. It'll help them. No, it doesn't. Because you know what happens? And I had this happen with one of my friends' kids who now they're in like calculus and stuff. They said everything they taught me in this new math, we have to forget it to learn calculus. So I'm like,
Because you
yeah,
need algebra.
it's almost like the process is completely irrelevant. So dumb. Anyways, moving on. Sorry, being a dad is one thing. Being a teacher is another. I'm not meant to be a teacher. Moving on. What have I been? So gaming. So what have I been playing lately? I only got like one game of Madden in. I actually forfeited almost all my Madden leagues this week. I tried to, finish off Metroid Prime Remastered this week, but I just got so slammed. Now I'm not sure if I'm even going to go back to it now because earlier today when I was thinking about busting out a game and then something else came up, I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking about getting back into my master mode run because I'm actually worried if I keep letting my children ruin my gaming time, I actually won't beat master mode before I get to Tears of the Kingdom. And that worries me. So that's probably what I'm going to be focusing on now for a while. Sorry, PlayStation 5. I know I said I was going to play more Final Fantasy 7 Remake, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, okay, man. I'll get back to you. Stop collecting dust.
Hey, Samus, you notice how he didn't apologize to you?
Yeah, dude, I'm good.
She's right there.
Listen.
Fine. You know what? Fine. I'll finish off. Look, I only have like 2 hours left in the game. Fine. I'll put it on casual mode and I'll power through it. Don't worry about it.
Right. I'm gonna watch the
I'll cheat my way on can't die mode.
And it's kind of a disappointment if you played the original. So just there.
You know what? How about when we get together for PAX next month? I'll finish it for you.
No, that's okay. Dude, in the time we're at PAX, you'll probably beat it in your free time there.
Yeah,
like 3 times.
I have a feeling we'll be really busy.
I'm always really busy. I make the trips worth it. So I'm literally working the whole time.
He'll beat it standing in line.
Just
Eric,
like when I go to E3, how much
I might need to get a battery pack?
Yeah.
What do I leave the hotel room for?
Food and E3
and to record footage.
Yeah.
And then I'm back at the hotel room up until like 2 a.m. every day. Just
every once in a while, the pool.
Well, okay, you know what?
The pool
After
healing.
you're standing, okay. I'm fat with bad knees. I gotta get in the pool. All right.
I know.
Anyway, look, quick question before we move on. Tears Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. Once you beat it, I already beaten it once in the regular mode. But I noticed you don't keep the bow at the end. Why? They should let you keep the bow and go back into the game and just shoot everything in sight, right? With that.
It's probably too OP.
Really cool bow as a like a reward, right? Go back in the game, but this time you have the bow and just shoot everything.
Shoot light arrows.
It would be nice if they let you take the master mode because you need it in master mode.
Yeah,
I think part of it is the way Breath of the Wild is like if I burn through all 25 of my ancient arrows to beat Ganon and then I go back into my save file, I have them all back. It just reverts you back to your previous save before you fought Ganon. It just gives you that nice little check mark that you did it. But it just sends you back.
A little star. I have a little star there, but that's it. I don't want a superstar. I want my bow.
Yeah, I want to
light bulb.
Destroy with the bow of light.
I'm such a great podcast host. I don't even have the notes up. That being said, let's get into our first topic. I just got the notes up. This was kind of a shocker this week. Out of nowhere. Well, okay, Mike, we'll get to you in a moment. Out of nowhere, the Nintendo Switch 2 is back in the news, to the excitement of many, to the chagrin of people going, here we go again. And we stop and just, it's never happening. We're never getting new hardware. Okay.
Did you guys get attacked too for just talking about it?
Yeah, it happens.
I ignore it completely just because I'm like, you know what? There's a you don't like it? There's more channels out there, right?
Well,
Yeah, but almost every news channel covered it too. Just
you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, you chose to click. Let's just
exactly.
Like, anyways,
I just don't like the whole shoot the messenger vibe. Like,
it's the way everyone is.
No, but you got to look at it this way: if they click on your video, they comment. That's free engagement. It doesn't matter what they say. It's free engagement. That's all YouTube wants is engagement.
Stop deleting the comments, Mike. You're hurting your engagement.
I don't delete them. I block them.
That's probably even worse. YouTube's probably like, oh no, it's spam.
I just say thanks.
Spam video.
Listen. Let me put that disclaimer out there. I run a family-oriented channel, right? I keep my community safe. If you come to my channel dropping F-bombs and dropping whatever you like, then guess what? I have all the authority and all the power to make sure that you never see my channel again. And since you didn't like it in the first place, I'll make you the favor and block you.
So,
some people like
now you know. Now you know why Mike doesn't invite me over on his channel for live streams. I'm scared of getting banned because I might drop an F-bomb.
Well, I don't invite you for live streams because I never do live streams.
You don't do that often. There was the one celebration when I was going to show up too, but then something came up.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's my job to keep my community safe. I want to make sure that everybody in the comments has an enjoyable experience.
On haters, apparently.
Yes. I left one comment. Yes. I left one comment. On one comment, the guy's name on top. It's called the annoying. Everything annoys me. That was his screen name, right? So
nice.
So
fitting.
So he was writing like that. Man, I'm just so tired of Switch Pro Talk. I just replied with a laugh face because it goes together. Like, okay, I'll let it go because
it's almost like a joke, sort of. Yeah.
If you say something positive, it wouldn't be you. So I'm not gonna.
Right.
Can't rain on your parade. Your train's true to your.
I mean, it wasn't like it was that inappropriate either. So
no. So why is it back in the news? A few reasons. Well, what really started it was a 4chan post that went up last Friday about Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and the DLC that's coming out for it. Now, remember, the DLC wasn't announced at the time. We knew there was a Pokemon Presents on Monday, claimed to be a developer at an outsourcing company who doesn't speak English natively and use machine learning, or you basically Google Translate or something to translate stuff. That's what they claim. Their English is a little too spot on for me to really think they used Google Translate. I think they were just trying to throw off the scent. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. Not my problem. This person put it out there. They're the ones risking their job. The thing with this post was they nailed pretty much everything down to like the exact name of the DLC, name of Pokemon, the looks of the Pokemon, the types, and even some stuff that technically wasn't announced yet because this person apparently worked on all this stuff, and that's why they have direct knowledge. One thing that they said that got people really talking, though, wasn't so much that, okay, he leaked a bunch of stuff that was confirmed on Monday. Who really cares? It's the stuff that wasn't known, including the fact that there apparently is going to be a graphics update patch to improve the visuals of the games coming out with DLC 2, which is the second part of the DLC that's supposed to be coming out winter 2023. So winter, by the way, doesn't begin until like the middle of December, so highly likely early 2024.
Yeah.
And it says April, which is actually not winter. It's weird. Whatever. It's gonna be early 2024 is when the DLC 2 is dropping. Anyways, and what he attached to it, he said that there will be a new Switch models that the DLC that this is for when DLC 2 drops. Now, it was really unsure if he meant like the new model is launching with the DLC or if the DLC is launching with that and the new model will already be out. There really wasn't a lot of clarification on that. And to be fair, he probably wouldn't know the exact release date of it anyways. The only logical way he would even know about new hardware would be because he worked on, he's currently working on the graphics update patch, which he would need a new dev kit with new hardware to actually make it. Because otherwise, how the heck are you going to make a patch for hardware you don't have access to? So that is how he would know. For people going, oh, why would he even have? That's why when you're a developer, you would get access to the dev kit. So that's if he's making this patch and he knows when this patch is launching, it's pretty safe for him to say the new Switch would be out by then. Now, people were kind of like, oh, maybe it's a mistranslation because he said, etc. Okay, well, he came back, used an MD5 hashtag to confirm who he is, which is the only way on 4chan to actually, if someone claims that they're still the original poster, adding more information, the MD5 hash is the only way to actually verify that because it's completely anonymous on that platform. And he was able to give you the MD5 hash and it matched up. So we know it's the same person. And he clarified a few things, but the biggest thing he clarified was that he was talking about a next generation Switch, not a minimal upgrade, not like it's a new light version, or he really meant performance patch. He didn't mean graphics enhancement. No, it's all clarified. He literally meant there's going to be a graphics enhancement pack coming for a next generation Switch. So that being said, we're not done because of course that news breaks and people that are insiders are kind of like, all right. I mean, it's pretty legit. So far, everything in the postings is one of the most legit leaks from 4chan in a while. Everything's like too exact to be like this person didn't know or it was a guess. Clearly, they knew. So Jeff Grubb came out on his little podcast and he just gave a little tidbit. He's not saying that this is like a for sure thing, that it's all verified and he's got all these sources on it. But he said that, hey, he has actually heard that a new Nintendo Switch, the next generation, Nintendo Switch 2, whatever it's called, will be announced by the end of this year and potentially released by the end of this year. And he even noted things like it's about a 45% chance it releases this year, which for those who don't play Fire Emblem, didn't get the Fire Emblem reference because it's a Fire Emblem reference that 45% almost feels like 100% because of it's great. A 45% chance to hit, you're just going to hit. It's just... So, anyways, he's not saying that obviously it is coming. He even noted his personal opinion is that it launches in 2024. But he said, this is just what I've heard. I'm just putting it out there. Treat it like a rumor because I don't, we have the Pokemon post you can look at, but we don't really have anything more concrete. What it basically sounds like to me is that now that this is out there, once GDC happens, which is where a bunch of game developers get together, I think we're going to have the floodgates probably open on this coming up, but that's really where we're at right now. So I guess first thought to everyone here, do we believe any of this?
Did Grubb put any more hair bets on this or limb bets?
No hair bets on this one. Okay. Funny thing is, he was right about Metroid Prime.
He was, yeah, no.
He actually was. That's the sad thing. I feel bad for that he had a good... Did you hear how he got his haircut?
I felt bad
by Mike Benani in a garage at a house party. Yeah, it was
fun.
Bad.
Yeah. Well, just to make it crystal clear for Jeff Grubb's sake.
Yeah.
The Prime remaster thing was something that he was reporting because he had a number of sources, multiple sources, not like one. I don't even think two, probably several.
He had a lot
that backed it, that were reputable behind the scenes, and that's why it was a report. This is a far cry from that. From what I've heard, it's like one thing maybe, right? Like maybe
He said I don't have extra sources on this. This is like someone who heard it from someone. So it's like a rumor of a rumor. But he's just saying because of this Pokemon thing coming out, he thought it was worth mentioning that hey, he has heard something that he wasn't going to say anything about, but now that this is out there, maybe it is something that's starting to get talked about.
I think after the Zelda stuff last year, he's kind of like
I
felt really bad from like after that last direct. You could just see on that video, like he was like, "Oh man,"
right. So
he's like, "Man, those sources just went in the trash."
Totally.
Take his
those sources I thought were reliable are trash now. Oh my gosh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not feeling lightly. It's coming out this year. This is the year of whatever they decide to call it, 2023. Been saying it in the beginning. My eyebrows are still there because I went back in the video and I said I would save my eyebrows if it didn't come. So I'm sticking to that. This year will be the year, and I think it's gonna be announced earlier. So I see an announcement for around July and August, and then a release for the holiday. And I'm still sticking by Metroid Prime 4 being a game that's gonna come out with that Switch to show off the new graphics for the new console in 4K, Andre. So you should be excited. Okay. And
you probably would be. He's like, it better still come on Switch, but all right.
So I feel like they are gonna release they're gonna announce the new Switch, and they are also going to announce a plethora of games to fill out the year when it comes to that console as well, because we still haven't, July and up is completely blank. We have no idea what's happening. I went back again a couple years, and by this point, we already have games moving forward to fill out the calendar year.
Yeah, we did.
Situation.
So it's just.
I got more to add to that, but
Yeah,
The rest of you, what are you thinking? Mike's obviously all in.
I'm all in.
This is all real. It's true. It's happening. What the rest of you guys thinking?
I saw it.
I'm gonna say it's legit. I think it almost like I was looking at the lineup of games this year compared to last year, and like last year, to Mike's point, we knew pretty much everything that was coming out through the entire year, give or take some like shadow drops, I guess. But we knew a lot of what was coming out for the big months. So when we got to the February Direct and they didn't announce anything past July, I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. But maybe at this Pokemon Presents, they'll put a Pokemon game in November. But then they didn't put anything for November. So now I'm sitting here like, okay, well, we don't know what's coming after July. And if there really is new hardware coming holiday in like November, October, I think we could see some kind of like Nintendo Switch 2 presentation in July or August. And that's where you get, here's all the launch games. Here's all the hardware details. You're going to get your patch for Pokemon. You're going to get your patch for Zelda. Like, it's all going to work. It's going to be backwards compatible. And I think that's where we get all the information. But they want to get Zelda out the door. They want to get Pikmin out the door. And they kind of want to wrap up what they're doing with the Switch now before they move on to the next thing. Even though they're not going to abandon the Switch, they kind of want to put a nice little bow on what they're doing now and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like how you put that. I'm not totally on Team 2023 yet, but it's been a battle throughout the year. It's like Team 2023, let's go, and then the reports came out, and then Zelda got no sort of announcements for that. So it's all right, Team 24 looks like it's the winner, but then this comes around, it's like, oh well, you know what? And there's been some Prime 4 speculations come up lately, suggesting it might come out this year too with the Prime Remaster and other things. So I'm divided on when. I'm waiting on more information before I totally double down on what year it's happening now. I mean, as evidence presents itself, I feel that my opinion can change, as it has changed. But I do think that there's absolutely credence to something happening around June. That makes a lot of sense because the last published Nintendo game that's slated is July with Pikmin 4. So they need to do something. Nintendo's shown that they can have a direct in June. They could shadow drop something for June. They can announce something for August, and they can detail July. Like even if they don't announce a system, then that's probably when they're going to have some sort of series of announcements, be it like 3 or 4 social media drops with a game dedicated direct or 2, or just a total like normal direct. Like something I think is happening in June. That said, I do like the idea of them announce if it is a holiday 2023 release. I do think it makes a lot of sense for several reasons. One, there should be a Mario game this year. There should be to take full advantage of the Mario movie popularity. Now, if it comes out next year, not the end of the world. It'll still get that boost, and that still may happen. But I'm just saying it does make sense. And another interesting sign is it's that we've got Game Boy and Game Boy Color, I would say 6 months early, because typically we get the online platform updates in September. Exactly. So this was a little bit of a surprise, but it could be a sign that they are trying to your point, Nick, put a nice, pretty bow on Switch Now, wrap things up for Switch Now so they can start to prepare for what's to come. And another interesting sign, potentially, right, like these are possibilities, not like 100%, is the Prime Remaster shadow drop. Because if Nintendo's plan is to get Prime Remaster out before Prime 4, and if Jeff Grubb was he was in such high belief that it was going to happen last year, it being shelved and then shadow dropped like this so quickly, it may have been the case that things sort of aligned and Nintendo realized, oh, wait, we might be ready for Switch 2 this holiday, and Prime 4 also might be a launch window title as well. We need to get Prime Remaster out ASAP because otherwise it won't make any sense. Hence the shadow drop almost out of nowhere, right? So it's a possibility. Like I do see some of the stars aligning, but maybe there's a little bit of a smudge on our telescope, and it turns out it's a March 2024 release or it's a June 2024 release. Like there's different things that can be shaken up here, but I definitely see a scenario where Nintendo could have some sort of event this June announcing things for the second half, but we'll see.
My telescope is clear, man. It's all completely clear.
Crystal.
By the way, did you notice they moved the Mario movie to the 5th?
Yeah,
Wednesday,
those extra 2 days matter.
right? Something could be happening around that time.
Yeah, like a Zelda Direct.
Oh
gotta
boy.
see.
Oh boy. Here we go.
You never know. Never
Oh,
know.
damn. Oh,
I'm on Team 2024. I think probably somewhere around
There we
March.
go.
I feel like now that you mention the winter is like December through whatever April, May. Now I don't know whatever winter is, but I think that it's probably early next year. I feel like they want to squeeze out one more holiday for the Switch and get as much sales as they can. Plus, you would think if it was this winter, why not just hold Zelda out for a few more months? And especially that's gonna I don't even want it this year if Zelda's coming out in May, because that's gonna be in my head like as I'm playing this, like, man, I really should I just hold out and wait till the next Switch comes, if it comes, at the end of the year.
So
I think they did hold out Zelda as long as it
Right, yeah, probably
announcing that it was for the Switch, right? From when it was delayed. So they actually did kind of hold up as much as they could.
Game may have been out for a while.
I mean,
Knowing
you
that-
can't say as much as they could. Like if it doesn't, if the
Okay.
hardware launches this year, they've done dual release with Zelda multiple times.
But if let's say we do get an announcement just 2-3 months before Zelda, that's basically at the end. And
I think I have an answer to this. So I've been Team 2024 coming into this year. I literally, one of the things I said on a lot of my live streams coming into to 2023 was like, look, it's kind of done talking about this and ain't happening this year. It is what it is. It's 2024. Oh, then the Nikkei report comes out and like, oh, they're negotiating for mass production for second half of next year. Okay, cool. Well, we might hear about some stuff at the end of the year, but it's a long ways off at this point from where we are. And then this happens. And there's some things that since the Nintendo Direct and even Zelda that I wasn't considering that until this report happened that actually makes a lot of sense. Even some words from Shintaro Furukawa that I wasn't considering because I thought he was referencing something entirely different because he never really clarified the comments. And I went back and reread the Q&A just to make sure. And he never really added the clarification of what he meant. Basically, the evidence for it is obviously this post for it. And obviously Jeff Grubb hearing it from a person, heard from a person, whatever. It doesn't really mean that much. But also that we don't know anything for the second half of the year because, hey, maybe they don't want to tell us anything because everything they're going to tell us about is for the new system and they want to wait till they're going to show the new system. So that would then make sense why the February Direct that said games mostly in the first half of this year literally just stuck to games in the first half of this year, besides technically Pikmin.
Yeah.
Where they announced the date was like the next month, which is just out of the first half of this year. But anyway, so there's that. Obviously, we just don't know anything and we've never not known anything at this point for the second half of the year. There's always at least been something that's been announced for the fall that's not just DLC. And at this point, there's been nothing announced. So there's that. The other part actually is when Zelda comes out. So Zelda comes out May 12th, which is a really weird release date for Zelda, right? If they cared about bumping their financial results, they could have released it in March, like they've done with other. If you actually look through the history of Switch, they've had like a semi-decent big game coming out right around March almost every year because they're boosting those numbers. They're boosting it up and they're saying, hey, look, maybe our holiday wasn't as exciting, but look what we just did. And this is going to keep selling in the future months. But they didn't do that this time. Now, granted,
Bayonetta Origins.
Yeah, Bayonetta Origins, which is not going to be obviously a system mover. But I
Prime
sat there.
Remaster.
Prime Remaster.
It was number one on Amazon for a while.
Yeah. So
like a day.
So the Tears of the Kingdom date I find to be interesting that it's in May. Because if there is a new system coming out, let's say November, right? That's like the traditional launch month for platforms. Well, this happens to be kind of like smack dab in the middle of like the beginning of the year and the system launch, but kind of dropping it in May. And it made me wonder for a moment about something Shintaro Furukawa said in his Q&A, where he mentioned we are entering an unprecedented era and situation with the Nintendo Switch. And everyone just thought, oh, because he mentioned, we're entering year 7. This is unprecedented. We're doing something unprecedented. And he didn't really clarify what he meant by we're doing something unprecedented. Everyone just assumed it's, the Switch is getting a full 7 years, a full 8 years. That is unprecedented. Nintendo replaces things every 6 years. That's just how it goes. So that's what he meant. We're entering this era of unknown with our platform being the longest out. But, and I can't remember who brought this up in a comment on one of my videos. Sorry. I hope you're here in the live stream and you can let me know if you are. There's this idea that Nintendo has always in the last year of their system coming out, never released a system selling game. They just don't. When they're leading into a new platform coming out, they have games. They have their Paper Mario Color Splashes and even Fire Emblem, but they never really have a big system seller, because why wouldn't you save that for the new platform? But you know what company always has big system sellers leading into a new platform coming out? PlayStation. So PlayStation has a very interesting strategy. Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, those dropping arguably bigger games than anything that launched with PlayStation 5. But they still did it anyways. They kept the PS4 momentum heading into the next platform. And Nintendo's never done that. Nintendo just kind of lets the platform kind of die. And then they bring out something new and hope that people care. But if this is going to be one of those iterative platforms where it's going to be a new generation of what they're doing now, improvements, better Joy-Cons, better hardware, better screen, whatever. I don't even know if they need to do a better screen besides the OLED. But the point is, it better everything. And they're saying, we're taking your gaming that you have enjoyed the last 6 years and we're going to the next level. And whatever their selling point is, maybe they throw AR camera on the back of it or something. I don't know. Whatever they decide to do, they Nintendo likes to throw some sort of weird gimmick in. I just hope it's not like going back to glasses free 3D or something. Anyways, whatever that is, what's interesting to me is maybe what he meant by unprecedented is, instead of us letting our platform die, the unprecedented thing is we actually are going to release games between now and this next system coming out. Metroid Prime Remaster. Now we're dropping a system selling game to keep momentum of Switch actually healthy. And then, hey, guess what? We're not technically done, because we're also going to give you Pikmin in July to also help bridge a little bit of a gap, because maybe we won't have a game for a couple months because we're launching a new platform.
And we have some great DLC this year too.
And amazing DLC as well. And
Xenoblade 3, the Mario Kart,
So I think you can kind of look at that and go, that is unprecedented for Nintendo. They've never showed that level of support to a platform they're replacing at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So if that is the unprecedented thing, then that kind of makes a little sense, because that means they're learning a lesson from another company that does iterative platforms, that you never let the momentum of your system die leading into the next one. You want to keep the demand strong. So when you get to the next one, everyone's like, now I want that new thing, because all these amazing games that are already just came out are now just better. Graphics enhancement patches. Everything's backwards compatible. Now, Tears of the Kingdom could sell systems this holiday, as an example. All of a sudden out of nowhere, because now we got a DLC drop combined with, a 4K patch update. And so it's one of those situations where, if that's the unprecedented thing Nintendo's doing, I'm happy about that, because I'm tired of Nintendo letting their systems die.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you 100%. I mean, to your point, we're hearing this apparent leak that Scarlet and Violet's getting a graphics enhancement patch, right? Well, that does more coincide with the idea of what Sony does. And we've talked about it before. I've told you guys my idea about how with Tears of the Kingdom, maybe Prime 4, if it ends up coming out before Switch 2, they would have those games get graphics enhancement patches alongside a major DLC. Kind of like a Miles, somewhat similar to a Miles Morales situation. Maybe it's not like a whole dedicated release, but it might have a physical release, something like Torna. So, they can definitely use that as like a secondary launch, and also get a little bit of a double dip scenario as well. Nintendo loves those double dips. Look at the Prime Remaster Shadow Drop / physical release. So go for that Game of the Year edition for Tears of the Kingdom. Give us a new quest, like maybe an island just comes out of the water somewhere. It's a whole other area to explore a year from now.
DLC,
and it's in 4K 60 FPS on Switch 2. That would just be a huge selling point for people. And if they price drop Switch, it'll still sell for 2 to 3 more years. It'll probably pass 150 million. And if you got that backwards compatibility, if all the eShop downloads and the Nintendo online stuff just goes over seamlessly, but they make sure that this system feels like a substantial upgrade. You look at PS4 for PS5, it's better because it's just straight up more powerful. Just make it a much nicer experience from a specs perspective, and people are going to buy. If you look at Switch OLED cells,
the power jump they could do now,
that'll work.
The power jump they could do now would be even almost more impressive than going PS4 Pro to PS5.
Right. But what is the best selling SKU right now
for Switch? OLED. Yeah, Switch OLED. Yeah.
Switch
people
OLED
are paying just for a screen.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's only $50, which is why I kind of do the jump. But it shows people are willing to buy pay for a $350 for just a better screen. But imagine a $400 Switch that does 4K.
$4.
Is an OLED.
$400. $400.
I will take it.
I think it might have been an audio cut. I think you meant $400.
$4.
What did it say?
It sounded like $4.
$4.
No, yeah,
$4 4K
yeah,
Switch.
no,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Let's
No,
just
but
say
a
they're setting
$400
records.
Switch
They're
with
setting
better battery
records.
life, better Joy-Cons, better Pro controller. It's 4K visuals, better performance across the board with better third-party support.
Yeah, but listen. What's happening here? I can tell you what's happening here. 2 words. The 2 words. 2 names. Furukawa, Cook. Okay? Furukawa, Cook. The Nintendo president we have now is
Playing Cooking Mama?
Cooking Mama? No. Furukawa. No, Tim Cook is Tim Cook, Furukawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the Nintendo president we have now is a finance guy. He's a safe guy. He wants to make sure that Nintendo doesn't completely go down, because he wants to make sure that stocks prices don't completely, go all the way down before presenting the next big thing. He wants to keep everything steady, just like when you release an iPhone 4S, 5, 5S, 6, 6S. That's a way of keeping stocks high for Nintendo. I own stocks, so you better not, mess with my money. Anyway, so
I'm going to find out his stocks and tank it. All right,
this is what's happening with Nintendo now. Now they are under new management, and this new management is really thinking ahead of time. They want to make sure that when they plan ahead, they have all the momentum with them instead of just trying to build up all over again. Just like the Nintendo Online leak that happened that said that Nintendo Online will proceed with the service, right? Nintendo Switch Online will go on to the next gen service. This is all his thinking, making sure that we built up this library, we have a subscription service, we have all these accounts that are coming in. We want to make sure that we proceed with this, and we reassure people that everything they own now will move forward with them. There's no guarantee that everything they do new will come back, but at least everything that you own now will actually move forward with you, with your Nintendo account, because the big thing he's worried about is Nintendo accounts, right? So yeah, like Andre said, he'll present this brand new dish with 4K resolution and a whole bunch of other features. They're gonna add a new camera. Hopefully they add a chat system in there somewhere. And imagine it's only $4. Not bad, right? $4,000. Anyway,
they be setting some records, also some massive profit losses.
Yeah,
and then
400.
And take all of this, and I think the selling point will be that. The selling point will be, hey, you have your brand new upgraded Nintendo console, log in with your account, and you have access to all of your previous games. Now, I don't know what they're gonna do with it physical, if they actually decide to change the cartridge technology, what they do with that.
I think they'll add a little nub to it, like they did with the 3DS.
Yeah, they'll add maybe a different slot, but it's like a dual slot where the old cartridges also fit.
You remember the Game Boy? The Game Boy had an anti-nub, and the Game Boy Color just rounded it out so there was no nub.
Yeah, like the 3DS, you could just stick your DS cartridge in the same slot, but you can't take a 3DS cartridge and put it in a DS. I think it'll be something similar to that, where it's pretty much the same tech, but they're just trying to make sure customers don't accidentally put like a Switch 2 game in a Switch, because it's not going to work.
Yeah. All your games are going to come with you, but for those enhancements, you're going to have to get the definitive editions.
Yeah,
that's the PlayStation way.
Yep, that's the PlayStation way.
That's the PlayStation.
You want that Mario Odyssey definitive edition? You got to pay for it.
Yeah,
I can see them maybe doing that, because it's been so long for Mario Odyssey.
Yeah,
I want to address this. Like, I keep seeing people in the chat, and also like I've just heard it and seen it in video comments and stuff. The whole like, well, why isn't it coming out with Zelda? Or why aren't they delaying Zelda to this new console? Like, they're acting like they need the new console to play Zelda. Like, you're not.
I think they just want Zelda in 60
months?
FPS.
Yeah, I think that's what I want.
I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, like, the only way I see this working for Nintendo is if it's like an optional upgrade at launch, where it's like, do you want your games to look better? Of course, buy the new console. But if you don't have $400 to fork over, you're still going to be able to play Tears of the Kingdom and Metroid Prime 4 and all these other things. And they're still going to look great and they're going to run great. But if you want just that tiny little bit of extra performance, you can get the new one.
That's a really good point. And that's another reason they kind of explain it's a Tears of the Kingdom situation, because maybe Nintendo's intent. Let's just assume it's coming out this holiday, right? Which I'm not all in on, but maybe, right? Hypothetically, right? They do that. It's $400, which is kind of a premium for Nintendo standards. You price drop normal Switch, it continues to sell. And the whole idea here is that, to your point, Tears of the Kingdom comes out. Everyone who has a Switch, that 120 plus, maybe 150 million plus a year from now, can still play it. The same would apply for Prime 4. But what's going to happen is that they're going to facilitate a smooth transition. So then 2 years from now, when they start to phase out Switch, enough people will have Switch 2 that they can start to have like just straight up dedicated exclusives without being worried about losing out on sales.
I think we get price drops this fall and then 2024. They haven't
maybe.
dropped the price on any of these yet, and they're still selling out.
Yeah, and you know it's
crazy.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I've personally been against the idea of a March release for Switch 2, because I think people lose sight. They like to think, oh, that's what they did for Switch, so they should do the same. But the difference is that back for Switch, when they announced it October 2016, they didn't have a holiday to have any sales. So like
NES Classic, baby.
Right, exactly. NES they came out with the NES and the SNES Classic back years because they didn't have holiday sales. They needed something. So that's what they had, but they could afford to announce Switch then because they weren't bastardizing any holiday sales. So that's how they were able to facilitate a March release then. If they were to do that now, they would be ruining sales. However, to your point, Fusion, if they do a significant price drop for the holiday to combat that, then it might make sense. But otherwise, I wouldn't see it.
So a while back, I said, you know what? They're not going to use the Switch name, but now I'm more on board with they are going to use the Switch name.
Switch 2, baby.
I feel like
New information, Mike.
I feel like it's a coin flip right now.
New information. So I'm like, yeah, I got new information.
The new information is what? That's pointing to this year. There's a graphic update for Pokemon. That's the
I received an update. Yeah, my I received an update, so I have to adjust accordingly. But
that shouldn't be an update for you. You always expected this year, remember?
But yeah, I did. Yeah, that part. But I'm saying the naming of the console. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a huge argument about that.
Yeah. What made you change your?
Really,
I need to know what evidence made you change. The only evidence is a graphical patch and a code name that says next generation.
What made me change my opinion was that I was just pulling all your legs on that episode the entire time.
Yeah, I haven't been able to walk since. I only have one leg.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was gonna. I wanted to play the how
Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate. Yeah.
So it was
Yeah,
actually
sure.
it was actually fun. I had fun being the villain for one time. It was actually good. So
Yeah. And welcome to the dark side, bud.
anyway, but what I was thinking is that Metroid Prime 4 was also a game that's it's promoted for the Switch, right? When it's supposed to come out, if it becomes a launch title, it's still promoted for the Switch, So hopefully, I mean, if they do go with the Switch name, I hope they actually do something good enough so that they could really, not cause confusion with people. Oh, another Switch. I already have a Switch. No, this is not the same exact console that you have. This is the next generation console. I mean, do something different. Make it into an oval shape. Make it into an airplane. Do something that makes it look different and behave differently than what you have. Because if they go with the same exact form factor, with the same exact little look on the Joy-Cons, people are gonna be confused, and we're gonna have a whole Wii U debacle all over again. Because
it's a very easy way to solve this. The logo just needs to have a fat 2 on it.
Yeah,
People
I was
will
gonna
get
say.
it.
I was gonna
Also-
say you like a consumer confusion gets brought up, but also like PlayStation does it. They got the PlayStation 2, 3, 4, 5. Xbox has the 360, the 1, the S, the X. Like
No, those are
Xbox,
those are
honestly, is
terrible.
more
Yeah.
confusing.
More,
but-
it's infinitely confusing.
They're gonna slap
I
a
think
new
that
on the box.
also-
That's it.
It, I think it underestimates how smart the consumer base actually is. Like, I'm not saying they're like every consumer is the brightest bulb in the box, but I don't think they're so dumb that they wouldn't be able to figure out, okay, the Nintendo Switch 2, or like when you go into GameStop for Christmas, my kid wants the new Metroid Prime 4. What do I need for that? And GameStop's like, okay, the Nintendo Switch 2, here's what it does better. So I think honestly, they need to just pull a PlayStation and just make it Nintendo Switch 2 and just call it a day.
Yeah.
There's no need to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean,
Listen,
it works.
Sony's copying Nintendo like crazy. Nintendo can
PlayStation-
copy Sony too. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the
100%.
thing, the good thing, the good marketing that PlayStation did from the beginning is that they separated their company name from their console name from the get-go. So they're Sony, but they have the PlayStation, and what they're doing is PlayStation 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and they kept it from the very beginning. Nintendo has been always obsessed that no, this is not called Nintendo. This is called this. And Nintendo is the company because I remember when Nintendo Entertainment System came out, they had an entire flyer, a big thing telling people, hey, don't call this a Nintendo because it's not called a Nintendo. It's called Entertainment System.
I wasn't alive then, so
I was
Yeah, me
alive.
either.
I called it the Nintendo.
So yeah, everybody called it Nintendo.
most people
yeah.
did.
People called the Sega the Nintendo because
Right.
everything was Nintendo.
Yeah, and anything you play games on is Nintendo.
Mhm.
So that's why they're all over the place with the naming, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the GameCube, the Nintendo 64, all that stuff it's like I call like a Puerto Rico we call like a narro con pollo. It's like a rice and chicken mixture with a whole bunch of other stuff like just and just eat it and whatever. So this time I hope that they actually fall on the brand where they have actually been able to do what they've been for their entire lives. That how they've had their mobiles and their home consoles. They finally brought them together into the Nintendo Switch. We have a mobile device and a console that could stay at home and just proceed with that lining. But they need to make it very clear because it's not the people, it's the marketing. The marketing's job is to actually be as broad as possible, be as clear as possible, be as precise. And if you're selling something, if you're selling coffee, hey, it's not juice, it's coffee. If you're selling milk, hey, it's not ice cream, it's milk. Even though they're both white, but they're not the same. You have to make sure that the marketing is on point so that their next console is not a flop. You know what I mean? Because marketing is everything.
I feel like if it's the same form factor, they have to go with the Switch too. Like Mike, what you said with they're following the Tim Cook strategy. I mean, you just put a 2 on it. That's all.
Yeah.
No, and I think
or even next gen. Just call it Switch next gen or something like that. Switch next or something that go. I mean, I'm not saying call it that. That's horrible. I'm just saying do something that is obvious. That people can say, look, this is the name of it. Okay, write Switch differently. Do something different with the controller. Make the design different so that people can actually separate it from the first iteration of it.
I'm just sitting over here in a membership gifting battle with Bama Hut at the moment.
Right.
Shout out to Bama Hut for the gifted memberships. And I'm like, no, this happens like once a month every time, or him and I just go back and forth. It's insane.
Nice. I mean, to me, people understand like 1, 2, 3. I mean, games do it all the time too.
That's easy.
It's easy. Where Nintendo made the mistake is they went to a random letter. It's like Wii U. Okay,
Also,
it's not 2. It's not.
I don't think they. I think they forgot there wasn't a Wii accessory that used a U in it.
Well, yeah, that too.
But Ubisoft did a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, yeah. But also the other reason why I think it is going to be a Switch, name as well is because they keep referring to this as the Switch family of systems. Yes, we have 3 systems now. But I think they've never really done like
you can argue for
how about just no throwing away a brand name that's a household name at this point.
Right.
That if the device is still going to be a home console and on the go, why the hell throw away the best brand naming decision you've probably made since Wii?
I think the best thing you can do is just put 4K next to it. Switch 4K. Nintendo Switch 4K. That's it.
No, I mean, yeah, they could do that. That could work.
It would
with like 3 asterisks next to it.
I still think Switch 2 is better just because if you put Switch 4K, what do you do after that?
Mm-hmm.
Some people they have to buy 2 of them.
You put yourself against the wall if you do that. I think Switch 2 is better.
The next one.
I think
also Switch 4K sounds almost like a mid-gen refresh, maybe.
I mean, Switch 2 also sounds like a mid-gen refresh because it's still Switch.
Switch 2 is probably the best way for them to go because I think about the 3DS and how the naming with that got kind of convoluted because there was the 3DS and then the 3DS XL and then the 2DS and then the 2DS XL and then the new Nintendo 3DS and then the new Nintendo 3DS XL. And it's like that was so complicated. And then they started doing exclusive games for the new Nintendo 3DS, and then they didn't work on the old one. It's like, okay, just put Nintendo Switch 2. Like Nate said, you've got a household brand, you've got a household name. I could walk up to my grandparents who have never like touched a video game console in their lives. They would know exactly what a Nintendo Switch is, just because me and my sister and my cousins like all have Switches, and they would know. So it's a household name. So why abandon that for the sake of like, we need to throw 4K on there. We need to do whatever. Like, it's AR, the Nintendo Switch AR. It does AR now, even though that was not a great feature on the 3DS. So don't put it on the Switch.
Don't do it.
Don't. It's not worth it.
I actually like Nintendo Switch 3DS.
I mean, they could go back to the dual screen, and then we can get like just straight 3DS ports to Switch, and I'd be okay with that because the 3DS was my console. That was my Nintendo system, was the 3DS, so I'm okay with that.
I got a thumbnail like that with the little open screen. Yeah, Nate. Well,
Okay, sorry. I just, Bama Hutt just dropped the big 20 spot, and I'm just like, he's like, no. Anyways, moving on. We have another topic to talk about, I suppose.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom DLC. So, to get a little context on this, there was an update to the official website. I think earlier this week or over the weekend or something. And they didn't really, whoever updated the website didn't really complete the update, and they included a thing at the bottom that said DLC requires the full game, but then they didn't have the asterisks next to anything on the website. They ended up updating the website later in the day after everyone started reporting, hey, did they just confirm DLC? So DLC has not been confirmed for Tears of the Kingdom. However, what's interesting, of course, is that, Breath of the Wild got DLC, so why wouldn't this get DLC? But then also maybe there's a new system, so maybe this kind of all ties together. And you know what? I'm going to let Andres Restart take the lead on this for a moment, because he actually did a video on this today.
Oh, wow. How nice of you. Sure. All right, cool. Yeah, so basically, on the website, it says, if you look at the very bottom, which is what everyone reported on, it says that there's the second one that has two asterisks, says something along the lines of, let's see, do I have it still pulled up here? I do. I'll read it to you real quick. It literally says, full version of game required to use DLC for that game, sold separately. Without context, this would suggest, yeah, okay, so there's DLC to buy when you have the full game. That is 100% correct. However, context is important. When you get the context and you read what the asterisk is for, further up in the digital edition section, it says, buy the digital version and download it directly to your Nintendo Switch system, no code required, plus earn My Nintendo Gold points you can use toward more games and DLC, double asterisks. The gold points you can use to buy anything on the eShop. So what that DLC mention is referring to is DLC for any full game you would need to buy on the eShop. That doesn't just mean that wouldn't mean Tears of the Kingdom. It would mean literally every other game. And Tears of the Kingdom could be included in that someday if they announce DLC for it. But this is literally just saying, hey, most games with DLC, you need the full game for to actually enjoy. And that's what it actually means. So
I mean, it's obvious we're gonna get DLC for Tears of the Kingdom,
right? And I totally, I definitely agree that we're gonna get that. I mean, if you look at every major Nintendo published game in the last year, Fire Emblem expansion pass, Splatoon 3 expansion pass, Xenoblade 3 expansion pass, Scarlet and Violet expansion pass. And here's another interesting to note: all of those are follow-ups to games that already came out on Switch, which also had expansion passes. And what's Tears of the Kingdom? A follow-up to a game that came out on Switch a few years ago, which also had an expansion pass. So what are the odds of this having an expansion pass? Fairly high. Yeah. But I wouldn't say it's 100% because this is a sequel and not every single Nintendo game has gotten DLC. Mario Odyssey didn't have an expansion pass, but if I had to bet money, I'd say, yeah, we're definitely going to get DLC for Tears of the Kingdom.
And just to hit real quick on the fact that you brought the points there. Dude, points, Nintendo has a really cool system when it comes to those points, because I mean, just today I checked my account. I'm like, well, wait a minute, use your points. When I checked the account, I'm like, I got $20 in points. That's really good. That's $20 off my next game. You know,
yeah.
I'm like,
it's more than taxes.
I'm gonna save that on my for what Tears of the Kingdom. because I'm
Yeah.
gonna get the physical version. I don't care if I probably have to overpay on eBay for the collector's edition. I'm still gonna get it. Plus, I'm gonna get the physical edition, so I'll just use this for the. I mean, I spent $100 on Sonic, like the worst $100 I've spent in my life, dude.
So you're saying it's not a good game?
Nah,
100,
not my cup of tea.
100.
100.
You have the
bought it
collector's
twice.
The thing is that I first bought it on the Switch, right? Nate knows.
Yeah.
First bought it on the Switch. It looked so horrible. Everything was just like bad. So when I have my Xbox Series X, you know what? I want to enjoy this game. With so I bought it on the Series X, and I still didn't like it. So there you go.
I wish the gold point system wasn't so convoluted if you buy physical games, because like I've bought brand new physical games that are over a year old, but because of the way they do gold points on the cartridge, it's like, oh, well, you can't redeem gold points on the cartridge if it's over a year old. So if I went out and bought Breath of the Wild today, I don't get the gold points for that. So it's like, okay, well, that's kind of stupid. Like I bought it brand new from GameStop. It's not like I got it used. And I think that's very dumb. I don't like the way they do that.
You're saying when you buy a game that's been out for over a year, then those games do not qualify for the gold points?
No,
Not the physical. No.
I've gotten quite a few where I went up there and hit the button. It says, yeah, it's past your time that you can collect the points.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's only for physical too, because if
Yeah.
you buy it on the eShop,
You're
obviously you get
automatically getting it.
all
I
the
mean,
points
I
there.
argue you can actually call Nintendo customer service and let them know, look, I just bought this game. Here's my receipt. Here's my date. I can send you everything. Where's my gold points? They'll probably give it to you because it's a brand new game. And if you buy on digital online, if you buy the Breath of the Wild digitally online right now, you get the points. You know,
Yeah.
why not get those points? There it has to be something with the SKU number over at GameStop or wherever you purchase it, where maybe it's not updating correctly as showing as new. So they do that so that you don't buy a game from your neighbor and then you want to add
Right.
to it, you know. So I would call Nintendo and get that taken care of, because I purchased games on physically. Actually, I purchased one recently, and I got my gold points. That game's been out for over 2 years now. I bought another Animal Crossing game for my niece. I have to gold points for myself, and I was able to get the gold points physically. So call and get all Nintendo, get your points, man.
I mean, the way they do it to begin with physical is stupid. I mean, honestly, if it's a brand new game,
yeah,
they should know that it's a brand new game, and it should prompt, do you want to collect your gold points?
yeah.
I mean,
right
you get it for free. They just give them to you when you buy it online.
Yeah.
Why don't they just say, hey, do you want to collect your gold points?
Mhm.
And if it sees that you still haven't collected your gold points for yet, it keeps prompting you every time you start it up. Do you want to collect your gold points? Why do I have to think about going into this, going over to here, going to this, and then it's like, just prompt me.
Yeah, you gotta like dig through the menu
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
I can tell you why.
And it just engages you to go into the shop too, so to buy stuff. So
I
yeah.
can already tell you why. Because physical copies, like when you buy a digital, you guys are just thinking of yourselves. You're not thinking of parents. Parents buy digital copies of games. They also buy physical copies of games for their kids. Kids aren't going on the eShop and buying games. The parents are. And the parents sometimes centralize all that on a parent account to let multiple kids have their own accounts on the Switch to play the digital library or the physical library. You don't want to annoy children by having pop-ups they can't do anything with because they don't actually have the Nintendo account.
So as a parent, before you give the game,
so when you gift a brand new game to a kid, you're going to tell the kid, sorry, give me the game to open it and me put it in the Switch first.
they can open it. I'll put it in the Switch and I'll redeem the codes, and then you can have it.
Or
2 seconds.
Or don't annoy your child and just let them enjoy their game.
A code
Why
would
even
be
prompt
also
them with
good
it?
to add,
Why
right?
even prompt them with it? They can't
or
redeem it.
we could go back to the 3DS era where they literally put a paper code
Yeah,
That's
there you
in
go.
the box.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
then it's
Yep.
there, and then it's not prompting you every time you turn on the game.
Yeah, I don't
and
like
you
prompts.
don't forget about
Prompts
it
are dumb.
because the paper's
are dumb.
right there when you open the case.
I
That's
don't
like
want to
the
be annoyed
first
with
thing you
prompts
do.
anyways.
Yeah, like a little QR code inside the game. You can just scan it with your phone and just gonna add it on there.
I originally was going to say it should be automatic, but then I had to consider, well, when you have a physical copy with the family, you might not want it to get redeemed by certain accounts. So
Yeah,
um,
that's weird.
yeah. So look, I'm really glad. I mean, we have the fact they're doing it at all is nice.
Yeah.
Because no one else really has a thing like this where you get free money back for buying a game. Grant, it's not a lot, but it adds up. If you're someone who buys a lot of Switch games, it adds up. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's really much of a you can put codes in the thing. You could have a prompt. You could have a lot of ways. I don't really worry about it. That to be honest, what I'm more worried about is, are we getting DLC for Tears of the Kingdom? That's more what I'm worried about.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go on record right now, and I'm gonna say my personal prediction. When we get that inevitable Tears of the Kingdom direct, because we still need to know a little bit more about it. I think they're gonna pull a Xenoblade, a Fire Emblem. Like they have a pattern of it now. They're gonna announce Tears of the Kingdom expansion pass, and there's gonna be day 1 DLC, and then there's gonna be like, okay, now here's 3 more waves that'll release for the rest of 2023 or whatever, because they've done that with multiple games now, where it's oh, Xenoblade, here you get a bunch of gold and like special clothes.
All I know
and stuff
is that they lock Master Mode again. I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I hope that's like. I'm not sure. I don't know how they're gonna handle that, but I hope it's not behind DLC.
Maybe unlocking
not a paywall.
beat the game and then unlock.
Yeah, unlocking it while beating the game, that's fine. But I don't. The fact. I mean, by the way, even if you buy the DLC, you still have to beat the game to unlock Master Mode. So like, you're paying for something. Yes, you're paying for something. Like if you bought the DLC and you don't actually beat the game, you're paying for something you'll never actually get to experience. It's.
I think they're gonna do the same thing all over again, because if people buy it the first time, they're gonna buy it the second time.
Yeah, I mean, with Pack 1, you also get Trial of the Sword, which is really cool. So
yeah, it's cool.
I mean, I hate day 1 DLC, because if it's done for day 1, it should have just been in the game.
But here's my thing: it's cool, but we used to get that built in with the game with Twilight Princess. Like we Skyward Sword had hero mode built into the game, and you're looking at me. Have you ever heard of the Cave of Trials? That's in Twilight Princess HD. We'll look. You don't have to pay extra for that. That's just part of the game.
Breath of the Wild is way bigger than Twilight Princess.
I understand that, and all this is like a rush mode for 60 levels. Like they could have put that into the game without charging you for it.
Yeah, but they added a second one. They did. I was like, why?
Why we didn't really need more at that point.
Yeah, but hero mode they did start adding in Skyward Sword, which it is interesting that happened.
I think day 1 DLC should be relegated to like cosmetic stuff. Like if they want to add a Xenoblade 3 Noah outfit for Link, that's your day 1 DLC. Like it's not really gonna affect if you do or don't have it, but
that
it's
should just
little
be a pre-order
incentive.
bonus. Like when you got like the Switch shirt.
I think so. Yeah.
I
Honestly,
think that
to me, go ahead.
I think that they're going to start selling some of these costumes in the store. Like they were, Breath of the Wild had all these costumes assigned to amiibos.
No.
People are going to hate me. People are going to hate me, but
no,
all of those amiibos were already old, and
Nintendo's
now we're 7 years
EA.
away from
that
those.
Conversation's coming back.
We're 7 years away from all the amiibo, and are they going to reprint all of them so people can get costumes for all that stuff?
100%. They want your money. They want the amiibo.
Well,
money.
then you're taking a risk.
You can still use those amiibos. So
but you're taking a risk. Then you're reprinting all these amiibo. Like they probably had 1 million Animal Crossing amiibo they didn't sell. Why not just throw? They're going to throw the skins in the store for $5 a piece.
But they
sold amiibo cards too that were cheap.
Are you talking about clothing?
Clothing. Yes. Yeah, like
I'll buy it. I'll make every episode of the show dressed as Link. That's it.
Yeah,
for years and everything.
I mean, because I didn't have all the amiibo for Breath of the Wild. I would have easily bought those in the store if they were like $5 a piece. I know people are gonna hate me, but
I would love a reprint, but I don't think they're gonna just put costumes on the eShop for purchase. They're not gonna.
Look, if they want to give you a way to digitally buy amiibo, I'm fine with that. But
I think they'll.
I mean, that there was no way to buy those, like a lot of them.
Technically, you can go on Amazon and buy all of them.
Right, sure, but they didn't get that.
Granted, you're not supposed to do that.
Right, but Nintendo didn't get any of that money if you went and did that.
Yeah, I know.
You know what would be cool? That if in the next gen system, DLC included skins for your wallpaper, like your first, your homepage, and sound, right? Like little chime, like if you open, if you want to get the theme for Tears of the Kingdom, you install it on your Switch because it came with a DLC and it came with its own sound. So when you open your Nintendo Switch, it does a little jingle from the game.
That would be amazing.
It loads this.
Yeah.
Same thing for Andre for Metroid. You can open up and you see Samus in the background.
I was thinking about Xenoblade, but sure.
Metroid I would kill for some Xenoblade themes, honestly.
I mean, that's something that could be involved in DLC. Like if DLC DLC day one, because every game you get that could be in a DLC day one. You get that skin, you get that theme for your new next gen
That would
console.
be really
There were-
cool. It's a good idea.
There were a lot of PlayStation 4 games that I just bought the deluxe edition because it came with like a theme or whatever.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
it sounds stupid,
It
but
works.
Yeah,
it
totally.
works. Yeah.
like I would do that for all of these Nintendo games
Right,
if
yeah,
they,
like-
they included that.
There are some games there are some games where I won't necessarily buy the DLC for, right? Like I'm probably not gonna get the DLC for Fire Emblem. I will finish the game, but I don't know. Like there's some games I just don't feel like getting the DLC for. Xenoblade, I love Xenoblade. I'm a huge Xenoblade fan. I won't get the DLC until the Stories DLC comes out.
I'm gonna
But-
end up double dipping. I couldn't wait on the Xenoblade DLC, so I'm gonna end up double dipping when that story expansion comes out, and I gotta get the physical
I'm
for
gonna
it.
be honest.
Oh, you're gonna get the physical. Okay.
I only played Xenoblade because I was an interview Noah,
Yeah.
Matthew McIntyre,
Yeah.
and I actually
Fell
got
in
hooked in the game, and then I never went back. I need to go back and finish it because
It's amazing.
it's a good game. You know, it's a good game.
Yeah.
And I keep hearing Xenoblade. I'm like, you know what? This is a sign. This is just a sign. I gotta go back and finish it.
Xenoblade is
a good
Nintendo's
game.
Final Fantasy.
Really? It is. It is that good.
That's I would
Yeah,
say that's where
it's
they're
really
going
good,
with
yeah.
it.
It
Yeah.
it is really good.
Final
It's
Fantasy.
it's not obviously at the popularity of Final Fantasy, but I mean,
That's Final Fantasy.
you got to
four.
start
In
somewhere.
terms of, we're talking about quality.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about
All right,
quality. Yeah.
that gives me an incentive to go back.
I
And play
mean,
it.
there is only one Nintendo game up for Game of the Year nominations at the Game Awards,
Xenoblade
and it
Xenoblade was snubbed at the Game Awards, not for Game of the Year, but like for RPG and soundtrack.
Not be
but
enough for
that's
best.
Not
Best voice
Soundtrack
acting.
is the most atrocious one because
that.
like
Ugh.
you look at the amount of for like obviously you could argue quantity versus quality, but if you listen to Xenoblade is straight up quality, but it also has 10 hours of quality versus like 20 to 30 minutes for all the other games in terms of
Yeah.
like total audio track time.
What
it's
won the
just insane.
soundtrack last year?
I
What
think it was
that?
God of War.
Was it
I
okay?
think.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Did that? I don't think that won it. I thought it was an indie game with a bunch of rock music.
Let me look. I'll look.
Yeah, but I also heard a lot of people upset because Harry McIntyre wasn't even nominated.
For
Well,
best voice
it's-
actor,
Yeah, and then he did an incredible job in that game. So
He really did.
It's because when people think voice acting, they don't think Nintendo. And until
Yeah,
I don't know how Nintendo's going to shred that reputation.
I mean, they
With
broke
Metroid Prime
the ice
4.
with Breath of the Wild.
Metroid
so
Prime. I mean, I guess Metroid Dread was up for Game of the Year, so Metroid Prime 4 is going to finally get a voice actor in for
I
Metroid
mean,
Dread-
Metroid Prime 4 should totally be up for a Game of the Year nomination when it comes out.
But it's funny you mentioned Metroid Prime, a game that's usually about solitaire. Like, there's not.
Yeah,
there should
I
be a lot of voice acting.
all right. I'll just a little teaser for my massive discussions coming out tomorrow. We're talking about Metroid Prime 4 tomorrow, and I personally think that with Prime 4, it's still going to be. It is going to still have a lot of isolation there. It's going to be a lot of Samus not talking, more about ambience, atmosphere, horror elements, as Mike was referring to earlier. That may be not so comforting for everyone,
Spooky.
but there's also a lot of comforting moments too. Anyway,
They
but
need zombies. They need zombies in that game, dude.
well, if you play Prime 2 Echoes, there kind of are.
Yeah,
But,
It's gonna be a
like,
games as a service.
Yeah. Prime 2 has kind of zombies. But the point I was getting at though is that I think there could be more cinematic moments. They could have enough material there where they could put together a very epic trailer. I mean, if you play Metroid Dread, there's voice acting in that game, and even though it's not like 3 hours of cutscenes, the cutscenes that are there are extremely powerful. They're super impactful.
They're good.
And if you play Dread and you know what I'm talking about, if you beat the game, there are some moments that just straight up give you goosebumps. And if they up that a little bit with Metroid Prime 4, because it'll probably be a longer game than Dread,
Mhm.
I think they could go in that direction of having a little bit more of a cinematic feel to it. And that's something that can help to promote the game a little bit more. And that's something that could be featured as in the Game Awards to some level.
I need to see a movie of Metroid because I want
An
to get
alien style Metroid game movie would be amazing.
Yeah, I feel like I need to know more of backstory, but not in the text form or some creepy voice saying in the galaxy far, far away there was this little virus that was there, but now it's not, and nobody knows where it is. And then you get into the game, and you start shooting and everything. I need to hear more. I need to know more about the character to get immersed into the. Maybe that's why I'm having issues kind of diving in, because I feel like I need to know. I'm a story kind of driven kind of person. I feel like I need to get more, and they need to tell me more to get me excited about why am I shooting random aliens.
I mean, I'll argue Metroid is an incredible story, but it's done through environmental storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. It's environmental and it's awesome, but I need some context. Why am I shooting some innocent little?
You played Dread, right?
I played Dread. That's my favorite game. Yeah, Metroid.
You were able to finish it?
I did not.
Did you? All right, you should try finishing it.
Yeah, I'll try finishing it.
You should try finishing it. Just
Dread
because one of the final moments has a really good story.
Yeah.
Cinematic. Yeah.
Very surprising.
The Samus die at the end. Well, she's
no
dead.
spoilers.
Is
No
she
spoilers.
dead? But has she been dead the whole time? Like the Sixth Sense.
I just want to point out that Nate left when we started talking about Metroid.
Yeah,
He
had something to take care of on our side. So.
I'm totally joking.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But that is something he would do.
Yeah. He went to sit on the throne.
Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Metroid Dread is the only Metroid game I've played and finished, because I am honestly not a huge fan of the Metroidvania style. It sounds dumb, but I kind of don't like having to go back and explore unprompted where I kind of don't know what I'm doing. But I agree with Mike. I think a Metroid like movie or show or something would get a lot more people into Metroid, because I think there are. Though? I finished Dread, but I had to look up a guide like halfway through to finish it, because I just got way too confused. So I think having a Metroid media that isn't a game would get a lot more people into it.
Yeah, listen. Yeah. HBO Max, if you're listening, just do Last of Us kind of Metroid game, and then I'm open to play a part.
I do feel my point kind of serves, like what you guys said serves my point though. Like I think if Metroid Prime 4 has a little bit more of a cinematic feel to it, it'll help draw more people in.
Exactly, yeah.
And when that sells 10 million copies, then maybe Nintendo will make an alien-inspired Metroid movie.
10 million copies? Be pushing it.
Dude,
Well, probably, but we'll see.
I literally just finished Tears of the Kingdom. I literally like 2 hours ago, Master Mode, right? I was watching. I'll break my NDA. I just broke it already. Anyway,
I'll be happy if Prime 4 beats 5 million. To be totally frank,
that feeling that I got at the very end because of the storytelling throughout, and what's happening, and even when I'm looking at a ruin from the past, it makes me feel guilty just because I wasn't there to say the people that lived in that little spot there. It was just an amazing journey there, and at the end, when you finally began it and all that stuff, they continue to tell a story in such a crazy way, man. The Legend of Zelda, again, it's an epic story. It's one of the best stories I've ever heard. So I know in movie form that will be awesome too. Yeah, I think story is something that will make people just really get invested with the character. Like I want to know Samus. I want to know where she was before she put on the suit. You know what I mean? Not just hear about it. I want to know what happened before she put on the suit, right?
Well, that would be really cool to have like a backstory. Yeah, that would be really cool.
PlayStation is known for like the sad dad genre. They're gonna make Metroid into like the sad mom, and they're gonna start the whole trend, and Nintendo's gonna be the sad mom games,
right?
Hashtag sad mom.
I'll also say, in terms of story for Nintendo, like you want like story from Nintendo, that's Xenoblade. Like Xenoblade's like probably the best
100%.
story in Nintendo.
Xenoblade is a good story.
I will preach Xenoblade till the day I die.
Nate,
more people need to play it.
Hey, Nate, just so you know, when you left, I was like, of course Nate left when we had the dedicated Metroid talk.
I had nothing to add anyways, so it's all right.
It's all jokes.
Did you wash your hands?
Yeah, going to bust my kid playing a tablet in his bed in the middle of the night I need to wash my hands of that filth.
Yeah.
That filthy
Did you have a flashlight? Like, what are you doing?
Yes, actually.
Oh, that's funny.
Kick the door down.
He's like, oh, am I grounded? I'm like, kid, just give me the tablet and go to bed. Just shut up.
I remember
the fact that you have to ask that question means yes. Yes, you are.
I remember when I was a teenager, or young, like 13, 14 kind of teenager. I still had a curfew, but sometimes my dad would come home late from work. So he would see like the glow of the computer through like the blinds. So he would know if I was still up. And I would be like, sometimes I would just be like, that's like when around was like kind of getting into anime and stuff. I was like watching Naruto and Death Note and stuff, and I would see the lights of the car. I'm like, oh my god, it's over. I'm done.
Or you can just pull the left it on and fell asleep kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I was just homework and
Okay.
Somehow got to Naruto. It was for a homework assignment. I fell asleep.
I mean, there'd be enough time to exit and then, but if I was too distracted and
gotta hit that
didn't
last
notice
channel
the lights,
button.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. That's innocent compared to what I got caught to back in the day. All right, so I guess we can get to our last topic here. I don't really know what more there is to say on this topic other than I'm
Yes.
confused because this really has more to do with Microsoft than anything. Because Microsoft has been trying to acquire Activision Blizzard for a long time. We're not going to recap all of that, but we know that for us, Nintendo people, that they entered into a 10-year agreement for Call of Duty, which likely doesn't kick in until next year, anyways. And the CMA, I guess, tried to dismiss the contract that Nintendo and Microsoft signed by basically stating the Switch can't run Call of Duty. And now a lot of people have been saying that same sentiment, of course. So some people might go, "Oh, that makes sense. The Switch can't run it." But interestingly enough, and I didn't know this because I don't play Call of Duty on PC. Some PC gamers actually came to Nintendo's defense when these statements came out, noting that PCs worse than the Switch run modern Call of Duty games. Because Call of Duty's engine is made to be able to run on a potato. So it's quite interesting because they were only comparing it to, it can't do what PlayStation 5 and Xbox can do. No, but it could do what PCs do, which is play on like graphics cards and CPUs that are significantly older than what is in the Nintendo Switch.
Yep. Only you got to take that potato and mash it a little bit and put it in place.
And no one's saying that it runs well, of course. No one's like, oh yeah, you're getting your nice 69. I mean, it's probably 30 FPS on those potato PCs and stuff like that. Probably running 720p or something. But the point is, it can run with full features like it does on PC. So, and again, console gamers only ever consider, I own a PlayStation 5, Xbox. How can it run on there? People forget that Call of Duty is also really popular on PC and made to run on a significantly wide range of hardware that would definitely encompass the Switch. Now, the Switch is a little low on RAM, but it's close enough that they could probably still make it work. Now, that being said, what are your guys' thoughts on this and how dismissive the CMA has basically been about the Switch the entire time? Because they're also the people that said Switch is not considered a competitor. Although they noted in dismissing this that they said, despite the Nintendo Switch basically being a piece of crap with bad graphics, it does find a way to compete in the market anyways. So they're sort of backtracking their own words. It's weird. What do you guys think?
I believe
it's a combination. You go first.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. I was just going to say, I think it's a combination of stupid people having a position of power.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
governments not
also,
understanding
and
video games?
also just some biased parties that are biased financially. That's it. Because it's all just straight up misinformation. Anyone who knows what they're talking about knows that that's far from the truth.
The FTC did the same thing. They basically labeled the PlayStation, Xbox as high-end gaming markets. So like they kind of left the Switch out of there. So, I mean, if the Switch could totally run COD Mobile or like a lower spec.
And here's the thing: they note the CMA, and the reason I think the CMA backtracked a smidge and was like, "Okay, no, we can't say the Switch doesn't compete with you guys, even though that's what we originally said," is because one of the arguments that Xbox responded to those remarks with when they tried to dismiss Switch as a competitor, as they're like, "Well, they have Fortnite, Apex Legends, and Doom Eternal, right? Like clearly it competes and gets some of the same games we get. Like you can't just." Some of the most popular games out there, it's getting. So we can't just sit there and be like, it's not a competitor.
Far Cry,
they literally have a Fortnite edition Switch. Like, it's clearly
Overwatch.
a competitor. It might not compete on the highest end of graphics and resolution, but it competes in the same space for our time to play video games.
It's a big tech thing. They don't really want this deal to go through, or they kind of want to make it as hard as possible, basically.
Yeah.
So they're gonna throw whatever out there that they can
slow it down as much as they can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, from that regard alone, it makes sense, right? Because like sometimes, if you can just somehow save yourself for one financial year by 3 months or something, it makes a difference. So.
Yeah. You guys got any other thoughts? It's a weird topic.
Also, just with the slowing it down and stuff too. I mean, this is going to be next time they go to purchase another thing, it's going to make them think again. This is going to take another. Am I going to get this one passed? Is it going to be, is this going to go through? Is it not? So there's also that.
Good news for
doubt
Microsoft is China and one other major territory. It looks like they're going to approve the sale. So, they are getting some support, but they got to get past the FTC, the CMA, and some other European Commission.
I just want this story to be over with because it's like every week, and then both sides are bickering and it's fanboy wars, and it's bad.
All I'm gonna say is the FTC is going after this, but where was the FTC when Disney wanted to buy Fox and they already owned Marvel and Lucasfilm? Like, you can't.
They're picking a fight in an industry they don't understand.
It's so stupid, and I also don't understand how you dismiss Switch as a competitor when it has been the highest selling console for pretty much the last 6 years.
Look, you want to try to argue it's not a direct competitor of PlayStation. I think that's stupid, but sure. But come on. Xbox is so far behind what Switch does. I don't even there's a reason they're taking a loss to do Game Pass. Like they need to find a way to compete that the other companies can't do. And we have big pocketbooks, so we're going to take a loss to compete. I never understood the dismissal. And the funny thing is all the dismissals of Switch, if you go through the legal documents, they're just repeating what Sony is submitting to go against. They're not even saying this is our opinion, this is our expert opinion. No, we're just repeating Sony's arguments. And it's but you shouldn't be repeating.
So what you're saying is
another company's arguments,
Sony's
making
attaching the couple $100,000 bills underneath it and slipping away.
And the thing is, Sony's really big in these three markets, these three specific markets. Sony's massive in there, and
Jim Ryan has a lot of connections there.
Yeah, they're starting to wonder if there's money under the table happening. Sony's trying to get the right people on their side because
I think Sony had the opportunity to also engage in the Call of Duty deal.
Listen,
yeah, and that's what Microsoft the whole time has been like, hey, we've been willing to give them everything that we're given they just won't do it.
Sony did the exact same thing with Minecraft though. When Microsoft was wanting to solidify down to the Bedrock version and make it compatible with every console except for PC,
crossplay. They want crossplay.
PlayStation was the last person to sign that deal. They were like, we don't want it. No, we don't want to be cross-gen, or we don't want to be cross-platform with Microsoft and Nintendo. How dare you?
So when it comes to Nintendo, if I had a platform where I could release the buggiest game in gaming history and still outsell every other game in a week or 2 weeks, I'll be kind of upset too. I would still,
you think Sony's mad because they dropped Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and did record numbers and outsold God of War Ragnarok?
You know what I mean? I think if Sony had an IP like Mario, like Pokemon, they wouldn't they wouldn't be messing up with they'll be
Isn't their biggest selling IP the Spider-Man, right? I think that was the one, or maybe it's God of War. It's one of the two that are at the top.
I mean, Sony has good IP.
So. Oh, absolutely.
They do, but what do you think?
Spider-Man and God of War 1 and 2, basically.
Yeah, they just don't do Pokemon or Mario or apparently now Zelda level of sales. I don't know how the hell Zelda got up there, but it happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why do you think?
And when Metroid gets up there, they're going to be livid.
There we go.
Oh, if Metroid outsells the best-selling PS5 game,
there's a reason why
that would be a dream.
That'd be a dream for you. That's for
Oh my god, it would be.
Because that's gonna have to be like 15-20 mil to no man. Because those PlayStation exclusives are starting to do really good numbers. It's just
we'll see what Prime Remastered does, and then we'll have this conversation.
Think it's gonna outsell Metroid Dread?
I think it has a great chance to.
We'll see.
It's cheaper. It's 3D.
Did they officially announce Dread went over 3 million, or is it still?
It's still official 2.9.
Like 2.99, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Okay.
I think it'll be close.
This is just. I mean, I think as gamers, a lot of us are kind of exhausted by the story. Mostly like fan wars over it just get really old.
I'm just excited to have Call of Duty on Switch. I think it's going to do really well. I think a lot of people really enjoy COD on Switch. I know a lot of people are like, oh, is Call of Duty on Switch? Like, I think some people, what's the scary part about it is that, especially with Switch 2, is if there is the Call of Duties, if you have the FIFAs, you have those real mainstream games that people need to get every year. If people start to see that, then they see that it's cheaper and it's portable, they might not buy a PlayStation or an Xbox. So that's That's that can be scary. Now, I still think Sony and Microsoft are going to have a good grip on it being still the ideal version to play there. But, I think some people will be like, well, it works, so I'll take it.
Well, for
think there's
Nintendo, it's all being different, right? Like taking it on the go with you while getting some TV play. It's just something that the other platforms offer other ways, like streaming to tablets and stuff like that. But,
but
there's
it's
still
not
like latency, and
streamlined.
it's just not the
Yeah.
same. Like I try to play my Xbox series up in my room all the time on my phone with a controller, and it's just it works okay, but every now and then like the signal will cut out, and literally we're like 10 feet from the system. Like this, it makes no sense to me. The signal's cutting out, and the controls have a lot more latency, so it's a
I've been thinking
solution.
about
It's just
buying
not ideal.
another dock purely because I want to be able to have my Switch to play normal games. Right?
Sure.
Right now I'm staying with my brother, so there's a second dock in the house, but that's like downstairs, like the living room. I want to have a dock just for like capturing footage. Like I don't want to have to capture reconnect that stuff. I want to have a dock connected to a capture card already and just slot it in. Do
Switch
I
is
need
like
it?
the realization
I
of
don't
what the
need to,
PlayStation
but it's just
Vita
way more
wanted to be.
convenient.
I think there's like a performance target
Oh,
the
the Vita,
Switch
yeah.
2 needs to hit. Basically, I think the gap is widened a little bit to where if the Switch 2 hits a certain performance, it can pull gamers away from the other platforms.
Yeah, it
Like those third-party games?
It gets like near Steam Deck. If it can get
right.
near
It'll be
that
good.
level,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
And it could. You never know. It's gonna obviously probably be still using NVIDIA technology to keep the backwards compatibility going. So
if any company can do it, I believe Microsoft can, because I believe they have really good developers behind them, and developers who can develop specifically for different consoles. I mean, Minecraft. We have Minecraft on the phone. Okay, on the phone, we have it on a PC, we have it on Xbox. We have, if anybody can do it, I trust Microsoft to handle the distribution Call of Duty to the Switch, because they'll have a developer team specifically designed to develop for the Switch, or for the next gen console. It's not gonna be for the Switch, but for the next gen console. And even if it's for the Switch, I feel like they would actually develop it for the Switch. They will build it from the ground up to make sure that it runs on the Nintendo Switch, because
probably
that the Switch can run this, the Switch can run anything you throw at it, as long as you develop for it.
What I didn't like about the CMA's argument, there's two things. One, when they said, Switch can't run Call of Duty, and then it brings up 3 example games that kind of work against the idea that it can't run. But what I found interesting about it is the 10-year deal that wouldn't kick in until after the sale goes through, which isn't supposed to happen until sometime this summer. So chances are it wouldn't be this year's Call of Duty anyways, because there wouldn't have been enough time from the deal to release for this year's. So it would be next year. And it's almost like they're dismissing the entire idea that most of this contract is not on Switch. Switch is Switch might not even be relevant to this contract.
I don't even think it's going to be next year too. It might even be a year after that.
Yeah,
it's going to take time to develop.
One of those. We did see that it's Nintendo Switch and redacted.
Yeah, and redacted. And obviously they can't, maybe they were trying to avoid to mention the redacted in the official thing, because then they got to redact more information but it's still weird that they just specifically target Switch, when it's like, but that's not really the deal's not really for
Switch. I don't understand all the specifics of this, right? I'm not a politician, a lawyer or whatever. But can you imagine if they were to accidentally leak the name of the next system?
Oh, if an unredacted document leaks out,
oh my, that would be so crazy. We would have a field day. But
I saw whatever PlayStation. I saw it was a tweet or a headline or something. Whatever documents PlayStation has to turn over, they have to turn over all their exclusivity deals, and people are talking about, are we going to see Persona 6 get confirmed, because that could be an exclusivity deal? Are we going to see another Final Fantasy leak out of that, because they have to turn all of those over, and those things could be in there? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. I think it would set the internet on fire if a Switch 2 got accidentally leaked out of this.
I believe they filed a motion to get that thrown out, and it got denied. So they're going to have to now pony up that information.
So to go on the other side here, we do definitely need a more powerful Nintendo console. In order to entice other developers to make it onto the Nintendo console, we do need more power. We want to see better graphics. We want to see better gameplay. We want to see bigger games. So I definitely do feel like we need a little bit more power. And Nintendo has already kind of perfected the form factor. I think they should stop with their creativity when it comes to form factor, because they've already brought the two worlds together, mobile and dock. Now they should focus on power. I saw this. Miyamoto said recently, Nintendo's strength is in creating a brand new experience with each and every other console. Something that the prior console games something that the new console can do with their games that the prior console couldn't do. Miyamoto has that creative mind. I see Tim cooking him, but then you have Furukawa who wants to make sure that everything stays steady. He's kind of thinking, I hear like a sound. Anyway, he wants to make sure that the boat is steady and not sinking, is not is drifting well. And so I feel hopefully it's this almost like the same console, but not the same console, just a more powerful, like Nate said, more like the Steam Deck, in power, a little more power than that, less heat, because I got burnt with it, so hopefully Nintendo can guide the ship that way, because I know Miyamoto is a more creative type. He wants to see something completely changed drastically. He don't want to recognize the console. He wants to see what is that and then develop for that, because he's that type of creative. But hopefully with the next gen console we can get that. And I know that if we get a more powerful console that is we have the same form factor, I know that it will definitely bring a lot of people over to the Switch, just because of the form factor and how reliable it is to take it with you on a bus, on a plane, wherever you're going. Sit, let your wife drive the car, and you stay in the passenger seat and say, "Honey, drive the car. I gotta finish this game real quick." Having that type of thing, but having better games like Call of Duty and even other a God of War type of game coming to port it to us to Nintendo will be fantastic, and then playing that game on the go will be awesome. I think Nintendo has the power and the knowledge and the experience to do it better than the
Steam Deck.
Yeah, that thing.
No, man. Well, it's sort of like Zelda fan Manchild said from our chat. Tears of the Kingdom will release a Switch 2 console May 12th. I mean, yeah, I guess.
I love that.
That'd be great.
The odds of that are
the odds, I think, are 0% at this point. I mean, maybe.
Point 0.01. There's always a chance.
There's always a chance, and to give him some credence, I thought the marketing campaign began for Tears of the Kingdom. It kind of seems like it hasn't.
No.
Yeah. Maybe they're waiting. Yeah. Shadow drop.
Really waiting for that Zelda.
Shadow drop a console.
Jesus. That's a ballsy move.
I mean,
they did Metroid Prime. Hey, no one thought they would ever do it to Metroid Prime. I'm just saying.
Hey, they moved the
Shadow drop. Go to your store now. Stop watching. Go to your.
Is Metroid Prime still on the bestseller list? Like
on Amazon? I don't know.
On eShop.
As I say, on Amazon it fell off because it can't buy any more of them.
Yeah, but if it's still, the eShop, it's unlimited. Can you imagine if they ran out of digital sales?
He'll always find a way to bring back to Metroid Prime. Don't worry about it.
I mean, if they shadow
he's
drop
so happy about that game right now that I think every podcast episode for the next 3 years, he's just going to keep finding a way to bring it in.
Listen, buddy. You know how we always find a way to talk about Zelda every day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually talk about it.
I'm sorry, Andres, but I have to be honest, man. I gotta tell you the truth. I gotta let everybody know. Andres needs a girlfriend. Okay, he's way too much into Samus. Okay, Samus is the girl.
Still bestseller on the eShop list.
And here's what happened: Zero Suit Samus popped up one day, and he just that's when he closed down his Tinder.
He only had Samus.
He found his waifu.
Only Samus.
I'm a grown man.
I'm a grown man. I can make my own decision. Hey! Did you know if I lived in Japan, I could legally marry Samus?
I'll have you know. I have refrained from buying a single body pillow in my entire life. So.
Show him.
No. Instead, you have a semi Half-Life size Samus behind you.
It was a gift.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's how we
Yeah.
make those excuses. I'm just kidding.
Show everybody the live pillows. Show
What about
everybody.
Charmander? You guys don't talk about Charmander too much. Like, Charmander.
Yeah, he broke his head.
He brings the flame. He brings the flame, and then Samus brings the fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
he's
Actually,
the one lighting
I
the
used to
candlelight dinners you're
do
having.
skits with Bandana Charmander once upon a time, and when I got the Samus, Charmander fell in love with her. It helped him get over Pyra because Pyra dumped him and joined Smash Brothers. There was a storyline.
There's like actual
was a
video game
storyline.
love triangles happening in
So
this.
you were
there was a
projecting
storyline.
yourself onto Charmander then.
No, Charmander. Charmander's.
Charmander,
No.
look, it's an inanimate object. It didn't talk, so this is a story from your head. Sounds like a personal projection. I'm just throwing that out there.
Nah.
See, Pyro was a thing, and now
Oh,
Samus is
Pyra,
a thing.
Yeah, Pyra's
Oh,
pretty
see,
cool.
see,
Yeah. Yeah. All right, this is terrible.
You're really-
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta know, Andres though. Who would you pick from Xenoblade 3? I'm just curious.
Oh, okay. That's tough.
Because I have my pick,
That's
but I want to
tough.
know your pick.
My favorite waifu from Xenoblade 3.
Yeah.
It's I'm a little basic, so it definitely comes down to the main characters.
That's fair.
Although I mean, there's some great picks, but you get to know the main characters more, so you know their personality more. So really, it does come down to either Mio or Uni.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah.
For me,
I
I
do like the
mean-
girl with the crit sword, though. She's pretty cool.
I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
spoiler. I mean, the game's been out for a while.
No. You talk what?
Came out this year, right? It's still a sport.
No, it came out last year.
Really?
No, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say.
We're
I know who you're gonna say. It's not a spoiler if you haven't played the game because you have no idea what you're talking about.
How about let's talk about our favorite Xenoblade 2 characters?
It's not a Xenoblade 2 character.
Oh, okay. All
It's
right.
a
then-
Xenoblade 1 character.
Okay, now this is
Oh, see, I just
Right.
assumed that the number one waifu was from
No.
Xenoblade 2.
No,
No, you're
No.
like, Okay.
no,
I
she
don't
got-
crowd.
Melia Antiqua.
Melia
is-
Antiqua
Yeah, she's
might
pretty
be the
cool.
best character in the entire Xenoblade.
she,
oh, okay.
like-
Well, I don't know. I can't.
There's a lot of great characters.
And you know how like Disney has like the whole like Disney princess thing? Like
Yeah.
Nintendo can kind of like go hard on that, especially if
really-
you take you could take like five or
figuratively,
six of
literally.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know, they should make a game like Nintendo.
Nintendo
can go
Princess
harder.
and
Who else?
Stars or something.
He's got the world's only Nintendo hentai book hidden under his bed. At
This
the
is why
moment.
we need to. Andres need to get a
Why you
girlfriend.
gotta make things weird, man?
Come on, chat. There has to be like somebody really nice for Andre.
Why have we
Look,
had-
I'm
why
not
have
the
we
one that
spent
brought.
more than
I'm not
10
the one
minutes
that
on
talked
this?
about trying to you get Andres a girlfriend not live on the podcast. That's Mike. Mike made this all come
Well,
around.
then Andre continue it. He talked about the pillow.
Yeah,
he
it's
talked
true.
about-
You know,
So if
I was-
anybody
I
who
was-
has
I was
was
gonna
played
try and
Hogwarts,
turn
I will
this
know.
around, but
I
I
did
feel
not bring
bad
this
'cause
topic
that-
up. This was not
So-
me.
so anybody who plays Hogwarts or plays it
this
when it
time.
comes out on Switch, the herbology professor, you'll thank
The
me later.
hurrah! Yeah.
Woo!
I've only seen videos. I've been avoiding playing it. So.
That's another game that proves that there's a next gen console coming out. They're waiting for that when it's
But
out.
it's releasing in July, same like Pikmin.
Yeah.
I
Before
don't
we
think
have an next
there's
gen.
a next gen console for me too.
But
here's what I
So it's launching in
want to
July?
ask.
It's on
If-
Please let it not be about my love life.
No, of course not. I was gonna ask if Switch 2 is coming out in 2024. When does it get announced? Because I don't. If it comes out in 2024, it's not getting announced this year.
Oh no,
I don't think they'd stifle their holiday season like that.
I
Only
feel
if
like,
they have an insane price drop.
yeah, I think it's coming. It's going to be announced sometime after July, but for this holiday season.
but if it's 2024,
If it's 2024, it's going to be announced in March.
I
See,
think
I
it
think
could
if
be
it comes
announced
out
in
in-
January.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if it comes
Yeah.
out in 2024, it's a holiday 2024, and it's lots of time to announce it.
Oh,
Well,
that's so
Nikkei
far
technically
away.
has estimated.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
2024.
Here's the thing: if they don't announce it till, let's say they announce it in January and release it in March or April, you know how many people would be pissed over the holidays that just got a Switch?
Right, which is why I agree with Mike that if it's a 2024 thing, March is probably like a good time to announce it for it to come out summer.
Yeah,
Or if it's if it's coming out fall, announce it summer or something.
I think they're going holiday. Like
Would
the
you-
only reason they didn't go holiday last time was just because the Wii U bombed.
But we can't ignore that they have nothing.
I agree with that.
No other games for the rest of the after July. They have nothing.
For now, yeah, there'll be another direct or something at some point, but
that we know about.
yeah,
But
at some point, and it'll be a Switch 2 direct is what it's going to be. That's my prediction.
would
This
people
year?
feel
This year,
would people feel as burned if it was like you can play Zelda perfectly fine on the normal Switch?
I mean,
like,
I don't think anybody who's in this group is going to be buying a Switch this holiday. Really.
no,
You
I'll
know,
buy.
I mean,
I'll
that's
buy,
gonna
a,
be
I'll
like
buy
the
a
moms
special
and the
edition
kids.
Zelda Switch. I'll do that.
Yeah.
No, Andres is like, well, if Metroid Prime 4 comes out and they got a Metroid Prime 4 Switch.
hot take. I don't like the Tears of the Kingdom OLED. I think it looks bad.
Well,
Technically, it's not official yet.
yeah, technically it's not.
I really
official
hope
yet.
it's not. They gotta
Yeah.
come up with something better.
It is ugly, but I'm still gonna get it.
I will say it is more than they did for the Wii U Wind Waker.
That's
one.
true.
Had the little gold braille.
This
like,
little
around
gold
it.
braille,
Yeah.
like I was
on,
like,
the-
okay,
on the
cool.
controller, not even the
The
system.
Skyward Sword Joy-Con looked better to me than
Yeah,
that.
that's my go.
Skyward
Yeah.
Sword
Yeah.
Joy Cons are.
I have a
best
Zelda Switch.
Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
If you count the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons, I have a Zelda Switch. I don't need the Tears of the Kingdom one.
There you
with
go.
the
I mean, you
weird
can just go
looking
buy custom skins and make any Switch.
crop
Dude,
circles
there
on
you
the
go.
back.
Dude,
I don't need that.
I think they're tier circles. I think they're water droplet circles, but I mean,
Nah, they look like crop circles.
You want-
Hyrule's got all kinds of crop
circles are
in it
known to
now.
be like random designs, though. You know what I mean?
listen,
Yeah, this is
there's
my.
You know, there was going to be aliens
Oh,
in Breath
hold
of the
on.
Wild at one point, so crop
By the way,
circles.
you
may
keep
make
making
sense.
fun of me about being in love with Samus and Pyra, which may or may not be true, but there's another competitor.
That's a better looking
Well,
Switch than a
yeah,
Tears.
but here's the thing. Here's the
Yeah.
thing. We didn't get a Metroid on Switch for like 5 years. So
Good taste.
Listen. There's if you want a really good Switch skin, look up Pretendo on Instagram.
Oh,
They-
I know that one.
Insane skins, like insane. They design them all themselves and everything. They have insane skins, like beautiful ones. They have like 3 or 4 models for Tears of the Kingdom that I feel like I'm gonna get just because they look amazing.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if the Tears of the Kingdom Special Edition Switch comes out, you buy that and then you skin it with one of those skins? 'Cause it's
Right.
Look, I'm just protecting it underneath so there's no damage with
Yeah,
something that looks better.
Anybody
alone.
in the chat, they have for every single franchise. Like literally every franchise in Nintendo, they have a skin for that, and it looks amazing too. It doesn't look cheap.
That's awesome.
What was that called again, Mike? I kind of want to.
Pretendo.
Pretendo. This is not non-paid. I just talked to him behind the scenes. I told him I was gonna shut him up because man, I deserve a shout out. It's amazing.
You just type in Pretendo Switch skins in Google, it'll come up with a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I'm on Etsy right now. There's some amazing looking.
I got
skins.
I got a really good Xenoblade 3 skin for my Switch on Etsy.
Yeah, Etsy's
Nice.
made by actual artists.
I just wish it was dockable. It's not dockable. That was
Oh. Well,
my
that's a
big-
purpose.
Yeah, it's called Pretendo Switch. His thing. Pretendo Switch.
Yeah.
Actually, he has pretendoswitch.com too. So if you want to check it out too.
You know, I could probably show people.
Mm-hmm.
I think this actually works.
Yes, I think
I will attempt to present. Share screen.
wait. At least we don't have to turn off our cameras.
No.
We don't think, anyways.
Oh boy, they don't even know what you're talking about, Eric.
Yeah, I know.
Here we go. Pretendo Switch. Share. Yeah. Will it full screen? Yeah.
Oh, ooh.
So yeah, here's his Instagram.
I'm not impressed.
I don't know. Some of those Tears of the Kingdom ones look better than the.
Oh, yeah,
I like the
official.
Switch Lite one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Lite
pretty
one's
cool.
nice.
Oh, you know, but really cool, and it wouldn't make any sense because of battery consumption. But like, if it had like if the Ouroboros actually like had a lit up with an LED or something, they could do that on the dock,
Mhm.
but they won't.
Mhm.
I will say Nintendo's been on a pretty big Ouroboros kick.
I like how those Elden
know
Ring
what
ones,
it
like, we're
is.
gonna get
Between
Elden
that
Ring
and
on Switch.
Xenoblade. Oh, I know because it's a renewing of a cycle. They're gonna start a new generation. They're just continue on infinity. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm pretty
I
sure
like
it's just a coincidence.
Oh, that one's nice right there. That
Although
Zelda.
Monosoft does help
the
out with
Spider-Man
Zelda
one's cool
development,
too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sick ones here. See,
Yeah.
this just makes me want Wind Waker
Yeah,
HD so bad.
right?
Wind Waker's coming on the next Switch. I'm calling it right now.
I think
Yeah,
so too.
it's
I think
gonna
they
be
were
called
waiting to
Wind
do it in
Waker
4K.
4K.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4K 60 FPS.
But I mean, some of these are pretty sick.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
of them just like they're okay. Some of them though are they're pretty badass
Yeah, and the good thing is they have more than one per IP.
per game.
Ooh, that
Yeah,
Luigi's
so they-
Mansion.
Yeah,
I saw
You
that.
didn't mention? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
I
Yeah,
like
that
the
one's
color on the
pretty hype.
front. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that blue and green. That's nice.
You see,
Mhm.
that's a game I'm gonna go back to that I played halfway through it and never
It's
finished.
so
it.
good.
Oh, it is so good.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a great
disappointed with that
uh,
Metroid Dread one.
co-op game.
Yeah,
man, I feel so guilty because I own more than 100 digital games that I never finished.
That one's good.
I like the Ocarina of Time one. That one's nice. Look, these got lots of good ones. Oh man, Wario fans, come on.
Warrior Man, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. There's other people that do it, but hey, Pretendo. I think I saw them. They were like $30.
So you can actually buy these.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yes.
Go to the bottom, please. Go
The
back.
bottom?
Back. I saw something for Majora's Mask. It got me excited.
Right here. Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
pretty cool.
nice.
yeah. Of course, it says HD.
Okay.
So we're just
By the way,
reading.
that Metroid Dread one at the bottom is also pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. I thought I like that. There was one he had up earlier. I like this one better.
I could do without the red analog sticks, but everything else.
Well, you don't have to put those on, you know.
Oh, man,
Yeah,
wish you guys
That-
would've
that's
showed
the
me
cool
this.
thing about skins, though. You can pick and choose,
Why
right?
do you have to show me this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
It's like-
reskin my Switch every week.
You don't have to put the whole
SNES
thing.
Classics.
Oh, that dock up close of the Dread one. Look at that.
Mhm.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Stardew
right.
Valley. Wow.
All right,
I got a lot of good stuff on
I'm
there.
putting the link in the chat for those of you who are interested.
There you go. Pretty cool.
You just gave this person a lot of business.
Probably.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, you know. He's a cool guy.
Awesome. And you know what? So as we're wrapping up the podcast here, it's kind of interesting because you guys don't know. A lot of people that watch probably have no idea what happens behind the scenes. This was not like the software we were going to use tonight.
Yeah.
So everyone, you know, I've told sort of while every episode of the season 2 of the podcast has been using Melon app, which is a paid service with Streamlabs, or you can bundle it with Streamlabs. I guess I think you can pay for it separately. And it's been pretty neat, except last week we had some massive audio issues, and it's always had an issue where, like, if I put people in a big screen or a little screen, it has a problem with the resolution. Anyways, the audio issues, it turns out, with the buzzing last week is because Melon app, and I found this out through research, randomly just has audio issues, and the only way to fix it is to restart the stream. And like, we're not going to obviously do that in the middle of a podcast.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know, like yesterday or the day before, that we were going to use Riverside, and Riverside is a really popular app with a lot of professional companies. And as we were testing it today, found out its stream features. Well, you can stream,
Mhm.
and that's about it.
Only in 720.
Only in 720p.
Nice.
No, you can stream in 4K. The thing is that you have to pay more for that.
No, so I had the second from the top package, and I talked to the customer service rep, and they just said, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all 720p because that's just how our servers are. We'll record it in 4K for you, so then you can edit it together. I'm like, no, I don't want to edit it together. We're a live show.
Right.
We don't do post editing like that.
Mhm.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
One point we did, not
Yeah.
anymore. But it's whatever. The fact is, their live stream features are nothing. You can't do anything. You just hit go live, and you might think that's simple. You guys like how I show super chats on screen and we react with some of the. Can't do that on that platform. You like how I just shared the screen. Can't do that on that platform. So Melon app was way better in that regard.
You can.
Oh yeah,
But in
no,
order
yeah,
to-
yeah.
Yeah. That's where my comment came in.
You can share screens. However, it'll be really tiny, and the only way it gets big is if all 6 of us hide our camera, which is dumb.
Not what you want.
that's dumb. I should I was just doing like random searches like literally 20 minutes before the show. And I thought, oh, StreamYard, let's give this a chance. And you know what? So far, so good.
You know, the other thing I do like
So-
about this one instead of Melon too
Hmm.
is that it slides everybody up when you show the super chat.
So it
doesn't
doesn't
just
cover people. Yeah.
flatten over everybody.
Yeah.
At the bottom. The
Yeah.
only thing I did notice too is I think you were in the process of it, but you never actually did get the podcast logo.
No. The podcast logo's in. I don't know how to move it. I got to figure that out.
Oh, fair enough.
It's already, I turned it off because I couldn't figure out how to
Gotcha.
move it. I
Gotcha.
kept moving
gotcha.
Mike instead.
Oh well.
Did any of you get to see that
Let's see, I can do
interview
this.
with
And it's smooth.
Anthony Garcelano?
Look, I'm mixing this all up. Oh
Wait,
no.
What
Was
was
that-
it? Was that the Mario movie interview?
No, it was the It was someone who worked on Prime Remastered.
Oh.
Apparently, they had to take it down. There was something said there that should not have been said. Yeah, I wish I watched that.
Yeah?
I'm going to.
I wonder if it's up on Gaming Leaks and Reddit. Usually they catch all that stuff. Or it'll be on Family boards. If
There may
something
have
got
been
said
something
publicly-
said in relation to the development process, and they might have hinted at what's to come. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do some research right after this.
I didn't. Yeah, that's the thing. I wanted
It's
to
probably
watch
out
it,
there.
but
Yeah, well, yeah, they moved it.
we
They moved
were busy working.
And I'm sorry, okay? We have a Wednesday show. I know it doesn't always
No,
work. on
no,
Wednesdays.
it wasn't just you. I'm talking about all day, right? Like,
Well, I mean, you could have just recorded it.
well, I didn't think they would take it down. I
I
didn't know what was in it. I didn't watch it.
You didn't think that they would nuke it because somebody said something they shouldn't have said.
I didn't know that anything was in there to nuke. So
yeah, you're like, oh, this will just be
Yeah.
kind of a cool behind the scenes thing. Oh,
Right.
crap. Oh, no, they did something. Oh.
are you seeing something, or are you just kind of
No, I'm not saying anything right now. I'm going to
Okay.
complete my research to confirm.
Okay.
That's all.
Send me a link.
Give you a link.
Yeah.
All right, give me a second.
Pirated.
While I'm doing that, we're
Right.
going to be wrapping the show up for episode 10. Before we go, though, this is what we always do. We give everyone a chance to shout out what they're working on, what they got coming up, and where they can find you. Let's start with our newest guests. We'll begin with Fusion 64. What do you got coming up, and where can they find you?
Ooh, I have a review of Horizon Call of the Mountain coming up here in the next day or so. A video next week of what's coming up in PlayStation for 2023. I do a lot of reviews for the Last of Us TV show. And then, Fusion 64 on YouTube.
The Last of Us is awesome, man. So hooked.
It's great. It's great.
All right.
I started playing the game like, no, just put the game down and just watch the show.
And by the way, there is a link to his channel. Just to find it quickly, right down in the description. So you just expand that, click, go subscribe. Let's see. Nick from Joystick Drift Podcast. What do you got going on?
So I have a video going out on Friday about Zelda's true role in Tears of the Kingdom and why I think it's going to be a little different than some of the other games. And then to follow that, in the 2 weeks after that, I'm also doing a video on Link and Ganondorf to kind of do like a triforce of videos. But aside from that, we're the Joystick Drift Podcast. We're a Nintendo/gaming podcast, and we put out new episodes every Wednesday at 12:15 p.m. Central Time. So you can go check those episodes out. It's me and my friends Colin, Melina, and Alex, who Melina's been in the chat as the Joystick Drift Podcast. So
Nice.
we do great stuff over there.
Shout out to Melina.
Nice. Mike Odyssey, where can they find you? What do you got going on?
Well,
Here we go. Guys, buckle up. It's going to be about 20 minutes.
you can find me at Mike Odyssey on YouTube. You can find me at Mike Odyssey YT on Instagram and on Twitter. What's happening Monday through Friday? Nintendo news at Odyssey News. We are still working on bringing the podcast up, Nintendo Topics podcast. And a lot of stuff going behind the scenes that I can't really talk about yet, but we'll soon. And that's the whole. So I did hear back from Nintendo, Nate. That's a good thing. So expect reviews, expect them.
Nice.
That's it. Go subscribe if you have not. We are on the road to 30K, getting that next Switch OLED out the door pretty soon, and then we have another one to give out, hopefully later on soon. So every milestone. I'm gonna change my milestone from every 10 to every 5. So from the 30 to 35th is gonna be the next Switch giveaway, 40 like that, and so on, and moving up. Yeah.
So before we get to Andres Restart, give him his little Metroid update over here. Just because this isn't actually something that's major, but it seems that this is the reason it was taken down. The developer that was talking about working on Metroid Prime Remaster mentioned wanting to work on remasters for 2 and 3, and it seems shortly after they said that, Nintendo nuked the video. So it's sort of like 2 and 3 is happening, just this particular developer isn't working on it, so wasn't aware. Or maybe they are aware and they were just pot shotting because they weren't hired for it. I have no idea. But
yeah,
So it might have just been like Nintendo doesn't want an actual developer that worked on their game mentioning something that Nintendo already has in the works or planning.
Never mind. I'm not interested in covering that. Not interested in covering Metroid stuff.
So
I forgot
it
about
could
that.
maybe it was a break of NDA. Like maybe they weren't supposed to mention future games.
It might not be even something that's worth covering.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. Well, you never know. You can clickbait the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Metroid developer gets struck by Nintendo for revealing future Metroid plans.
Yeah, I already have a Metroid video plan for tomorrow, so
double Metroid.
Yeah.
Double it up.
Speaking of which, did you want to know what I'm working on? There is a Metroid discussion plan tomorrow. Yeah, I announced on Twitter and my community page today the Metroid panel, and I think it's, as far as Metroid content creators go, it's a pretty darn good panel. So check it out
on the panel, just to confirm.
Yeah, someone was asking what was Nate on the panel. Nate was a part of a graphics debate last week, though,
which might explain why I'm not on the panel.
Listen, and I have to publicly apologize because three times Andre has invited me to his podcast, and for some reason, I think somebody put a curse on me when it comes to going on Andre's podcast, because literally an hour, and then like an hour before, 2 hours before, my entire power went out. It didn't come out like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even sleep that night. It was crazy. But I was supposed to be on Andre, so publicly I want to apologize to Andre for not being in the podcast, and hopefully we can reschedule for later on. Because I don't like to not keep up with my friends when they are they've been so supportive behind the scenes. I want to support them as well. And yeah, we're family here, man. So yeah, sorry, Andre. Next time, promise. In Pat, we'll record it side by side, and then record it
side by side right now. I had to put two friends together.
I'm gonna push you in Boston down a cliff.
So Mike, throw you in the harbor. You may want to travel with us.
Pretty good. It's cool.
Goodbye.
It's not
as long as somebody gets it on camera, it'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Free content.
There'll be a pool there. So.
Yeah, I mean, power went out. It's not your fault.
There is a pool.
I also
you can
tend
push
to go live by
into
myself, so it's fine. Well, what would suck though is that it would have been a fun discussion. Yeah, it would have been a fun discussion. You could have done your whole victory lap on how Switch 2 is coming out this year live. It would have been a good time.
Can we schedule for next Wednesday, next Tuesday,
Monday. You want to do Monday? Maybe.
All right, let's do it.
We can do Monday. Yeah.
This time,
power goes out.
If I have to call, if the power goes out, I'll call in. But this time,
I mean, the thing is,
your phone's charged, battery banks.
Everything.
You can still do the Switch 2 victory lap. Yeah, you can do it next Monday.
I will
probably. We might get more info. Maybe another insider will come out and be like, "Yeah, it's 100%. It's coming out tomorrow."
Nate's Nintendo Prime Live competing head to head with Andre's Restore Mike Odyssey. All right.
I think we're all hoping that he's gonna be able to do the Switch victory lap.
Listen, the Topic Podcast is making a big comeback. It's making a huge comeback. I can't talk about it yet, but it's making a huge comeback.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sick.
That's gonna be sick. I think that's gonna be.
I think. Yeah, I think it's all official now, right? Like, the 4 hosts of this podcast are all going to the PAX, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's all official now. We're actually locked in now, I believe, right? Well, we
have our.
I asked for my passes. They told me they had them. They just haven't given them to me. So
yeah, that's what they told me too. They said they can mail them to me, or I can. I'm like,
I'm assuming they're press passes. I'm kind of worried that they just got me like normal passes.
No, they're press passes. I confirmed with Steph. I said, look, we need press passes. They're press. Yeah, I got you 2 press passes. So yeah, we got press passes.
All right, there we go.
I also got passes for MegaCon. Who's coming to MegaCon?
Who?
What Mayo?
I went to MegaCon last year.
Oh, I thought we were talking about mayonnaise.
We got some press passes for MegaCon this year. It's happening after. It's happening after PAX, right after PAX.
That's cool. I'm gonna be home making Nintendo content and saving money.
Mega.
I can't go on all these trips, Mike.
MegaCon is as big as Comic Con here in Central Florida.
It was huge.
Oh, I mean, I don't have to fly for that one, so maybe.
Yeah. There you go. More content coming from Andres and Mike in the future.
Maybe.
And a lot of voice actors are going to be there. You can meet a person. and develop.
Yeah, see, I'm
Okay.
waiting for people to care about
yeah,
the
maybe.
Midwest and come to Wisconsin. And
Well, and then we
Or
have
you
the
just
fifth.
move to Florida. Cost of living's a lot higher though.
no, really, if I moved
Yeah.
to Florida, I'd have to retire off YouTube. So I'm good. I'm good.
See, I'm living in Florida. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I
make
know. I would
Yeah.
need to retire. I got a family of 5 to I would
Yeah.
need to retire.
Yeah. I have a cat.
Yeah, here
I have a dog too. Throw that on
everything is
top.
expensive. Not great.
Yeah, but
And I'm in
eh,
Miami, which is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah.
but I have to shovel snow all the time. So I mean, I guess
Yeah.
but then I get to pay like really low bills. So
Orlando,
I'll take
Orlando
that.
and Miami are the most expensive places to live in Florida.
Cool. I'm just gonna sneak into
They're nice,
Nintendo
though.
World and just
We're
live
better
there.
though. We're better though, Nate. I mean, Orlando's better though.
I'm gonna get hired for Universal to be like Wario or something. I'm trying to think of a short character because I can't be Mario. I'll be Wario, and then I'll just live at Nintendo World. It's all right.
Or you could be a minion. You could be a minion.
Yeah, I guess it could be a thanks. God damn it! Damn it!
Just walking like this one. Like this.
Oh my gosh, that's probably how I already walk.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Thank you guys for tuning into the Nintendo Prime podcast. You can find our podcast everywhere podcasts are heard. I know last week's episode is going up the exact same day as this week's episode, audio wise. For those who just came off of that episode and got to the end of this one, I do apologize. We had a really bad audio issue last week, and it's been very hard to edit it out. I'm doing my best. So it's going to come, and I'm making sure that I can't release this one until that one does. So I'm hoping that I get these out the same day. But you guys are awesome. You can always subscribe to our channel. With the podcast every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Even during PAX, I'm still going to attempt to keep that same schedule. I don't know how, but that's just a reality that I'll deal with when I arrive in Boston because I'm not arriving until like 5 p.m. So it'll give me 3 hours. Wait, no, it's 5 p.m. Eastern. I probably have less.
Mean?
I have like
No, it's 4.
I have 4 hours.
Yeah,
I
no.
gain an hour, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Do I gain an hour?
Yes.
Okay. I gain an hour.
Hold up. When did this time change again?
What?
The time change, is that what you're talking about?
It's
Yeah,
next
yeah. It's a
weekend.
different time zone for me.
Oh no, yeah, for you, yeah, you gain an hour, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess it'll probably be all right. That's plenty of time to set it all up. Hopefully with Mike and Andres in person. I don't know. We'll see if that happens.
We'll do good. And also in March, are we doing Spring Forward?
Yeah, it's not this weekend. It's next weekend.
Well,
It's
we
the
get more
12th,
daylight,
I
we get
think.
more daylight, so it gets dark like at 8 o'clock at night. So it's good.
And I can use like this cool, like we could still do a 6-pack with us 4 in person on one camera. And I can do like, where's this layout? There's a layout that was
Start
really
jogging.
cool.
But, all right.
This
Oh, there you
layout where it could be like the 4 of us on the big, and then there'll only be 2 people on the side, and they'll be bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll look sweet.
Pool
It's almost like I switched to this app at the right time. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just maybe.
we,
Or I
we,
just
can-
suck.
we can do it in our bathing suits poolside.
Sipping Mai Tais,
Oh yes.
sipping
Yes,
Mai
Subway.
Tais, and
Yeah, let's do it.
Poolside. the podcast by the pool.
as they come out, and we're still going at like 11 at night, and they're like, "You guys got to go. The pool closed an hour ago."
No, and then we
Listen, sir. Listen,
the
sir.
intro, we can feel like slow motion, like getting on the pool, like going like this with the hip.
Oh my, Mike.
That'll be the countdown timer.
Oh man,
No.
no, this needs to
Mike.
happen. This needs to. There's
We
going
watch.
there's going to be a jacuzzi cast someday.
Oh my God.
Someday there will be a jacuzzi cast, and maybe we will like have like a shoot in the afternoon to do what you suggest, and like we go do like a little bit of a Baywatch thing, and then it'll
We're
calm
gonna start
down.
the,
and then-
Shirtless, running like this, like in slow motion and everything, just ziggling up and down.
yeah,
we're gonna
leave.
start the hot tub streams trend over on YouTube.
Dude, Charlie,
Bro.
you know how many people will subscribe? If it is
Or they would subscribe.
You should try the
because we're
sleep
hitting on all
the
the fetishes.
streams.
Yeah.
See if they'll subscribe to watching you sleep like they do on Twitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I always thought, people that have like the foot fetishes. What if there was a podcast where it was just 6 pairs of feet and we just talked? Look, you get the scrunch face all you want. You get the scrunch face all you want. I don't know what my daughter is into, but as I was checking her computer, foot fetish stuff kept coming up, and apparently it's a really big thing. I didn't realize how big it was.
Listen,
It's huge.
all I gotta say is I'm saying it here publicly. Andres, I snore. Okay.
Oh, me too.
So
Me too.
Wait. We'll do like a snoring kind of.
I am not.
We're
a
gonna
sensitive
rumble the
person.
hotel all
Yeah.
together. Don't worry.
Andre and Up are bucking them together, and then Nate and Eric. I was like Nate.
Woo! Things are getting spicy again.
Yeah, this is a little. Too
Look,
weird
and we
for
might
me.
need to upgrade to a separate bedroom.
You're right.
I need a lock on my door, please.
Yeah, right.
But we're staying at the same hotel, which is pretty cool, you know.
Well, hopefully there's a lock in the bathroom door in this hotel versus the ones we stay at in Italy.
It's funny how that worked out because I only went to this hotel because they had the good internet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
And then all of a sudden, Mike's like, "Oh, yeah, let's do it." And then he made it work for him and Andre. I don't know, like this is magic.
Yeah.
We know people. We know people.
My brother-in-law works for the Marriott, so he hooked us up with the really good deal.
I will try not to run.
I'm gonna have to
through the
remember
hallways
that
screaming.
next time I travel somewhere and be like, Mike, can I get an offer? I can't refuse.
I'm not gonna do this at the hotel because I've matured over the years. But back in college,
This is what happens? I didn't hit end broadcast.
Yeah,
after
right.
we all said that.
whenever
We're
I'll
just
leave
talking
you.
about
I'll leave you
Biden.
all with this. Back in college, whenever it was someone's birthday, that was like one of my close friends who lived in the hall, because we were like in a dorm room area, so it was like a long hallway. I would barge out the door, and I would just run across screaming with a really loud, hoarse voice. I would repeat their name. I'll be like, Brian, and then just scream happy birthday as I would be running across. Yeah, it was definitely not allowed to do that.
None of us have birthdays
Yeah,
this
right.
month, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
I
just-
said I matured, right?
Yeah.
I am a mature
But
adult.
after the Mai Tai podcast down by the pool, sometimes we think we're younger than we are.
Okay, I'm rather youthful, I'll say. Now, if we have a Tears of the Kingdom demo at PAX, though, my hype levels may kind of
Bring it out.
rid
Bring
me
it
of
out.
some of that maturity.
Yeah.
He's
so-
gonna be sitting there like doing the whole hitting his chest like Zelda. He's just going nuts. Just everyone's gonna be looking at him like, what is he doing? Next thing you know, everyone at PAX is doing it.
You know what'll probably be the problem though? If Tears of the Kingdom is actually there, we're gonna be so busy that we won't have time to have fun.
I might not even play it. 'cause
Look, I will tell you this. No matter how busy I get, I will be entering the swimming pool. It's just happening. I have like flat feet and bad knees. And so what's really nice after a long day of standing in lines and doing stuff is right at the end, after I got my content done, I got a video up, you just go out there and you just take a dip, take at least a half hour, and just try to remember that you're not here to die. That's usually how I deal with it.
You're not here to die.
Oh, I'm in a lot of pain usually by the end of the day. So yes.
Yes, he is.
What the
Yes, I'm telling you, I feel
Yeah.
like death at the
Yeah.
end.
heck, man?
Yes, if it's physically exhausting for me. I'm
not
an
no
overweight, bad knee, bad feet, bad ankle. I got.
Do you have a
bad-
standing desk?
Do I?
Yes.
Actually, yes.
Do you use the standing feature?
Not at the moment because it has all my Prime Gaming Fest stuff on it right now.
You should situate that. I haven't been. I have a standing desk too. I invested in one back before I was fired, and it's a nice, very nice, more than I should have spent for a standing desk.
Yep.
And I love it. I love it very much.
Mine's
But
coming
I've
this
been
week,
mostly
by the
sitting
way.
next to it.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me because mine's coming up this week. It's part of the new set. So guys, shout out. You want to see a new set with the standing desk? Mike Odyssey standing, walking forward and doing stuff.
I'm just saying it's a lot healthier. Right?
It is. It actually
yeah.
is. It actually is.
Yeah. I was editing today while standing for a little while, did some squats while listening to myself sound stupid. It was really nice. Yeah.
The end of the days aren't my problem. It's just the mornings getting up and then you get old and
Yo,
you're walking
listen.
down the stairs and it's like
I'm hitting that Ring Fit
oh,
Adventure every day now for a week, and I'm gonna keep that going.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I can't do the long standing sessions because it's just my feet. They can't do it.
Sure.
It's
No,
hard. It's
I-
hard to understand. Like my feet are literally. You see how flat this phone is? That's how flat my feet are.
Hey,
they're very
hey,
flat.
Hey, I am Cuban.
I don't know what that means.
I am flat-footed.
I don't judge people based on what they're from, so I have no idea. What
I'm
that's
Puerto
supposed
Rican.
to
Okay,
mean.
I'm Puerto Rican. And Cubans and Puerto Rican are basically brother and sister because the flags are the same. Anyway,
So you also start.
Wait a second.
Wait, what?
Whoa.
You also understand the flat-footedness then.
yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
how I was going.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a common trait.
Yeah,
Whoa.
brother and sister. We call ourselves that because it's the same flag, different colors.
I mean, islands are really close to each other. So
Yeah, that too.
yeah.
All right. Well, that was the Nintendo Prime podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Same time next week. Probably more crazy stories.
Charge extra if you want the Nintendo Prime Podcast Plus edition, which we'll stay behind the scenes just talking gibberish, and then you guys get to hear all the junk and stuff,
With no feet pics.
with no no feed pics, mate.
They will be removed. They'll happen during the normal live stream, but they'll be removed during the premium version.
Listen, I don't care how flat or sexy you think your feet are. No.
Look,
The Bunyan cast.
I rub those feet every night, baby.
Yep.
Big
Every
Society
night.
84 understands.
All right. Later, everyone.
Peace.